Hello and welcome to DCP Live, episode number 142, 142 episodes. This week, we've got Briar Rabbit, we got Fran, we've got Ms. 5000 Watts, and we've got DFP, Destiny Fun Police, a.k.a. Sheik. Welcome back.
Spelled correctly.
Yo, glad to be here once again. It's been a while.
E before I,
it
right?
has been a while.
That's right.
E before I on the Sheik, yes. Yeah,
that is correct.
We were talking, it was 2016? Was that one the last time?
December 2016, yeah.
That's a long time.
3 years? Well, it's not quite 3 years.
I'm not sure if you guys were playing at Destiny or you had just become DCP at the time. I think you'd become DCP at this point.
Yeah?
It was like early days.
Okay, early days. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, because you're on the first poster. I'm almost positive.
Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
There was definitely, there was art for sure. I remember the art.
Oh, yeah, I loved it. Ash is so talented.
Oh, yeah,
so
absolutely.
Amazing.
So, for those that are, let's say they're new to DCP and haven't been watching too long, can you tell us about Destiny Fun Police and the origins? Because I like the origins of DFP.
It's quite a funny story. I basically one day I was just playing Defender Titan for some reason. I used to main a Hunter, which people don't know. It's like my shameful secret.
Shameful.
But,
no, that's
like hefties.
that is that's
the shameful origin.
That's purity right there. I'm really happy. that's beautiful.
And then like I was playing Defender and I was like I discovered suppressor grenades and all this shit and I'm just suppressing people and I like uploaded a video and I didn't really have a name at the time. I was like, I'm just gonna call this video like Fun Police because that's what I was doing, right? I was just like, suppressing everyone, emoting them, just being a bit of a prick, for the shit. And so I was like, what should I call my channel? And I was just like, I'm just gonna put Destiny in front of the video name and make that the channel name. And it's kind of just a bit of a running gag with some friends. And then I don't know, here we are. It's been a bit of a.
I remember in D1 running into your officers, the Destiny Fun Police officers. Getting suppressed out of supers. It's funny because going against a full team of defenders in D1 was legitimately annoying. Like, like bubbling. Oh, yeah. It actually was Chaperone out at the time, or had it not come out yet?
Yeah. Chaperone was well and truly on the scene, at least for me.
What was the go-to Destiny Fun Police loadout in D1?
Yeah, like you said, Chaperone obviously. No backup plans, and whatever your favorite hand cannon is, and you're basically good to go.
You were, that was it right there. You were arresting folks left and right for using crap in the Crucible.
It was a lot of fun. Like where it started was, if you guys remember, it's a bit of a callback to Taken King when Hammer Titans were like basically how supers are now in D2, but they were the only one at the time.
Yeah,
where you just couldn't kill them.
It was glorious.
And it was great for me because like I had suppressor grenades, so like Hammer Titans would be really, confident, and I'd be like, all right, well, you walk around this corner and it's, it's going to be unpleasant.
You would bait people into a bubble, into a suppressor bubble. Like there'd be like an Blade Dancer coming at you, and you'd bait them into the bubble, and they'd get hit with a suppressor nade, and then you'd emote, and that's toxic, man. Let's just be honest.
So someone's got to do it. Someone's got to be that guy.
You recently
a hero live long enough to become the villain, that kind of thing.
That's true. It's true. You recently started Instagram, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I've been following you on there, and you've been posting clips from. Obviously, you've been posting D2 clips that are current, but you've been posting some D1 stuff. And it's been making me extremely nostalgic. And that's why I bring that stuff up.
Yeah.
Some really classic clips of you like using swords and certain emotes and all that. And, like it's great. It's great troll type of stuff. But it's also shows like your skill. Like you really understand the sandbox and having those type of weapon elements come together to use them in unique ways. Like I tried to do the suppressor stuff recently and use a bubble in D2, and I failed miserably at it. But you gave me inspiration to try it. Yeah,
it's definitely still viable to an extent in D2, but there's not as much. Like there was harmony between every super and subclass in D1 in the way that they interacted with each other.
Yeah.
Certain things would happen at certain times if you did certain things. Where in D2, it's kind of just like you don't know what's going to happen. It's just a lot more. I don't know. It's weird in D2.
I love
Not the
also.
same.
I love seeing enemy bubbles in D2 because it's super rare to see somebody pop a bubble,
It is rare.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in D2 they made them turn red, so you knew that there was an enemy bubble, which I thought was really cool. So when you
Yeah.
do see it, it's like, whoa, what is this giant bubble that's red?
I mean, people still come in. Doesn't matter if it's red or purple or green. They're
Oh,
still walking.
they cannot help themselves. They see
I
the
can't help
bubble and they're
myself.
like, I gotta go in, I gotta try. It's the same thing when you play Middle Tree Arc Strider and you run at someone who has like a Goldie active
Yeah.
and you
Mhm.
spin the stick and they're like, I know I shouldn't, but I really
Yeah.
want to, and then they do anyway and kill themselves.
Yeah.
They just people can't help going for the bait. They have to take it.
Well, you have a lot of people also that have never played D1, and when they see a
True,
bubble in
They don't know what that
PvP.
is.
First off, it's just rare to see a
Mhm.
bubble in general because not
It
very
is.
many people run that subclass and then choose to use a bubble because you're just giving up a roaming super, you know?
Yeah.
So when they see it in the Crucible, they're like, "Whoa, what the hell is this?" That's going to be happening a lot in September, right?
I think the only mode it has real use in is probably countdown. So unless you play comp, then you're just never going to run to. Even in comp, you still don't see too many. But
Yeah.
in countdown, the bubble's still really good.
Yeah,
You can do
Yeah,
some funny shit.
that's a free round right there.
Mhm.
yeah, because they have to burn a super to pop it, and then also disarm it, right? So like that timing, that's a very small window to make that happen, right?
Yeah, so it's like if they don't have supers and they like, so sometimes what I'll do, it's just like a funny play. Like I'll get my whole team and we'll hide near the bomb and we'll let them plant and then just run out there and just bubble it and defuse it and there's nothing they can do.
And then easy game. That's
Yeah.
it right there.
Easy
They just
game.
punch you whilst you're defusing.
Do you rock Helmut Saint 14 right now? If you're doing a bubble,
Nah.
no,
Nah.
not worth it,
Like
huh?
if load times weren't so slow in D2 on console, I would probably like, maybe switch on the fly, but it's just not worth it,
Yeah.
to be honest.
So what do you main right now? Are you PS4 specifically?
Yeah, I'm on PS4, yeah.
Have you had a PC account that you've worked on at all, or just decided not to?
Yeah. Like I played PC when PC launched in year one. I was on PC from day one.
That's what I thought.
And then
Yeah.
like Curse of Osiris hit and the game hit a real a
Yep.
bit of a low point and there's just like nobody playing on PC kind of thing. And I was basically gonna stop playing as well at that point. Then I thought I'd just go back to console because a lot of my like Twitch community still play there
Mhm.
and all that kind of thing. And I just managed to like keep going with my content and grow my channel playing on console. So when Forsaken dropped, I was like, well, I've been playing with all these guys for like the past like 6-7 months. I don't just want to like leave now.
Yeah, of course.
So I kind of just, stuck around for those reasons mainly. But it is tempting, especially with cross save, to just
Yeah,
go
cross
back
save
to
basically
PC.
solves your problem, right? You can play
Yeah.
either one.
Yeah,
and-
because that's what's been putting me off like since Forsaken.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I don't have anything on PC now.
Yeah.
So
Right.
And the time to regrind is a bit
exactly,
of a mountain.
yeah, I'm not a big PvE grind guy, so I was just
Yeah.
like,
So with cross save coming in a few months, are you do you have plans then to play on PC a
Yeah.
lot, or just mostly PS4? Or are you gonna go back and forth?
I'm gonna try and say I'm gonna go back and forth, but I don't know. Like I'm not really good with that kind of thing. I either have to be on PC all the time or be on console all the time. I don't like going from console to PC and back. I don't really like
Not even with a
how it
controller.
feels. Like, yeah, I don't mind with the control, but it's more just a jarring difference in frame rate.
Ah,
It just like gets to me. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm definitely gonna be on PC more because it's just so many of my fellow content creators play on PC.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys in Primal as well are on PC, I get to play with them.
Yep.
So yeah, there's a lot of reasons to be on PC. So we'll see.
I
It's
got
a tough
high hopes
balancing
that
act.
the next generation of consoles is going to bring 60 FPS and a wider field of view to Destiny 2.
I hope
Yeah.
so.
Mhm.
Mandatory.
I
Yeah.
really hope
That's what
so.
I
I've got a buddy who plays on PC with a GTX 1070 and specifically locks it at 30 FPS in the
No.
the console field of view. So it has
Why?
parity because he plays a lot on PS4. So he doesn't want to have
Oh.
he doesn't want to have the parity issues of going back and forth. So
So he just lost it.
People are like, how could you do that though
One
when you're on
day-
PC?
I mean, he's a really good PvP player. So he he just one day decided to like just make it like console when he plays on PC, and he's really good. Yeah, Swag he's really good at it. So it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I found that it's definitely super jarring. I find it most jarring when I've played on PC for even a week and then I go back to console. But if I find that if I take, maybe one day on console, one day PC and keep going back and forth, I don't get super. I don't know. My brain doesn't get really used to the PC field of view and frames, so when I go back, it's not as jarring. But the longer that I'm exclusively on PC, the longer it takes to get used to going back to PlayStation.
I was surprised
exactly,
how fast I lost the ability to use a controller effectively after playing Destiny 1 on PS4 for 3 solid years, and then playing on PC. I think it was the first time I went back to a controller and the PS4 was when we did the Bungie Versus.
Yeah.
And it was like I had to practice for like a week straight on a controller, just like try
That
and
was
get
rough
used
for
to
me
that
too.
again.
Yeah.
It's a big reason why I stick to controller on PC, because I was playing, there was a point where I was playing every single game besides Destiny on PC, keyboard and mouse. And when I went to pick up the controller, I was like, I hate it. And that's just not going to work for me if I'm going back and forth between. It's just not going to work. So for Destiny, I keep with a controller. Everything else is keyboard and mouse, just because it makes going back and forth a lot less jarring.
I was just watching a video, I think it was like 2 days ago on the Linus Tech Tips channel,
Mhm.
and they were testing the difference between 240 hertz monitors versus 60 hertz monitors, and how much more accurate you are and how much faster you respond with the faster frame rate. Like, and it was a measurable difference.
What was the results, Briar?
I mean, like, I couldn't tell you.
Measurable.
It was measured
Let's get
in
Linus on next week.
milliseconds,
Measurable.
but there was an accuracy difference and there was a response time difference.
That's false, because the human eye can't see past 30 frames per second. So
That's not.
that's false.
Well,
This is
right?
false. This is false.
What frame rate does your monitor run at?
240.
I've heard reports of upwards of for her. Yeah. Oh, do you have a 240? That's fine.
Oh, yeah.
I have heard report the 70 to 90 range. Everybody's different, and it's like hard to measure, obviously. But I've heard the 70 to 90 range. But
Well, I have two fast refresh monitors. I have a 240 hertz and I have a higher resolution monitor that's 165 hertz. And when I play Destiny PvP, I switch over to the 1080p 240 hertz because I feel a difference between 165 hertz and 240 hertz. It's also 1080p compared to, like, I get faster frame rates because I'm playing at 1080p instead of 1440p.
yeah.
Weird, guys,
But
because
at
I
the
tell
end of
you, so many people on the internet say it doesn't exist. It's false. So
You can't measure it though, but also you got to remember there's the refresh rate, and then when your frame hits it, and so that's the basic theory, right? Is like the more frames you throw at it, the sooner you're going to get a fully clean, frame that when it's happening. Versus sometimes you'll miss, right? And so you're missing sometimes what's being rendered. But the more you throw at it, the more you'll see, basically.
So if you're bad, get a really fast monitor and you'll be
I think
good.
it's
Slightly
makes
less
me
fast.
worse. I've tried that theory, Watts.
the problem,
Have you?
the problem with the high frames, so obviously with the Church of Unlimited Frames and all, there's a lot of theories and
Church of
aspects, and like
Unlimited
a
Frames,
lot of
that's right.
a lot of discovery that goes in this process. And the higher you climb those frame rates, the exponentially more expensive your system becomes, because it's not just it's not just
You have to
GPU
keep up with
problem.
it.
It's like your
Yeah.
CPU has to be top of the line, because the speed at which the CPU talks to the memory and the speed of the memory all affect the frames at that point.
Yeah, the bandwidth.
So
right?
like
I have a $500 CPU. I have a $1,300 GPU. I have, I don't know how many hundreds of dollars worth of memory, and all of it's overclocked to the
And how
point
much is
where
your motherboard?
if I go any faster, it'll crash.
all seeking the holy grail of unlimited frames,
Right.
the promised land.
Nah, I'm in the church at 30 frames, mate.
At least it's a solid 30 frames indeed.
Yeah, it's most of the time consistent 30 FPS.
You know what they say, you don't miss what you don't have, right? So if you only play console, then you kind of forget about it.
It's true.
That's not true.
Right.
I
It
miss
is true.
Ferrari Fridays every week.
Well, that's because you're now having Ferrari Fridays in Legoland. So,
Yeah,
I
That's
mean,
right.
You're getting the digital version. It's great.
It's not the same, damn it.
They could just simulate 240 FPS in a game for you while you're playing at 60 FPS. All right, it's just it's simulation. That's all. Well, Sheik, is what's the most anticipated thing you got for Shadow Keep coming? What's your most anticipated thing that gets you excited for the future?
I'm still waiting because I'm the PvP guy, so I'm just waiting for like the big summer PvP reveal, and then we can talk about what I'm excited about. Obviously, everything else does look very good too, especially like cross save and stuff. But PvP changes, man. I'm fiending. I'm
I
ready.
feel you on that.
Yeah.
I definitely feel you on that.
Sheik, I got a theory, and that is that
boy.
when they talk about changing the foundation of PvP, I think what they're talking about is dedicated servers. What do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, it would be great, but I doubt it.
Doesn't that seem like a pipe dream?
It does seem like a pipe dream.
Doesn't that seem like suddenly you're going to get 140 FPS on your console?
Just wreck all my dreams.
It's just
I doubt that.
they've been so like not going towards dedicated servers for so long that
Yeah, but they're free at Activision now. I mean, I'm not expecting it for Shadowkeep.
do you really think Activision was the reason they didn't have dedicated servers?
Yeah, I don't think it was.
It's the reason Call of Duty didn't have dedicated
It
servers.
was-
Treyarch, or not Treyarch, what's her name? Who made the original COD
Infinity
4?
Ward.
Infinity Ward said it
Cited
publicly.
Activision saying they
Yeah, because COD
They
4
blocked it?
originally had dedicated servers, and then they moved away from it, and as they kept making Call of Duty.
Yeah, you got to remember it like has to do with how PvE works, though, right? And that shared world
it's
concept.
to do with
And
the
yeah,
social nature of the game, isn't it?
yeah, and then they applied that everywhere. So you basically would need to go down a path probably where you try to separate the way you built one side and versus the other. And actually, I saw someone in my chat had linked me to PC Gamer, I think, in a year or two ago, did a really good article on it. You should look it up. It's really good, where they go over like all these like engine problems and what they were facing, and why it hasn't been dedicated servers yet.
interesting.
But yeah, I
They'd
was
have
gonna
to
ask
have dedicated for PvP, right? And then they'd have
yeah,
to do
split them maybe.
Yeah, they'd have to split it. Yeah.
Which
so
whatever.
it's definitely not more of a case of just, well, let's just switch the whole game to dedicated servers. We can do that.
No,
It's
no.
like, how the hell do we do we split PvP servers, which are dedicated
cross.
PvE that are peer to peer, and
Loading.
Yeah,
It's
How do
like
you
if we were
build
to do a
servers?
raid. If we were to do a
Yeah.
raid with dedicated servers, like, and I'm in UK and you're in America, it'd be really laggy, wouldn't it?
No,
Yeah.
it'd be
That
terrible.
kind of thing. It would like upset the balance of things a little bit.
Yeah, and I think they shouldn't change the way PvE is. I think the PvE setup
No,
is
no.
actually perfect for the
It
game.
works-
it works
There-
perfectly for
there's not a
PvE.
lot
Yeah.
In PvP though, like all this other stuff. It's like
Yeah, PvP.
2019.
Yeah, PvP
getting shot through
2019.
walls
Yeah,
every
exactly.
day.
Yeah, it's pretty rough,
It's
right?
a bit rough.
Yeah, I guess
Mhm.
that was going to be the next thing that I wanted to ask is if they are rebuilding the foundation, what do you think as a PvP main, what would be the thing that they could say that would make you go, "Oh my god, Shadowkeep, Bungie knocking it out of the park."
I mean, it's hard to pinpoint one thing, but like it might kind of sound like a very like generalized answer, but if they were to make loads of changes in PvP, that kind of took a lot of influence from Destiny 1. So like I was talking about before, like the supers,
Bring back bubbles.
it's like they well, not even that, just like across the board, like super, health is the same as it was in D1, and you can just go back to shotgun melee
Mhm.
and sniper headshotting supers,
Mhm.
stuff like that. I think comp needs a huge overhaul, or it needs to be replaced by something else, whether that's a revamped trials or whatever. But like
Yes.
PvP
Yeah.
needs that kind of, it needs that event kind of feeling that it had in D1 where there's something happening kind of thing.
Mhm.
Whereas right now it's like you get your pinnacle weapon in comp, and then all there is quick play and Iron Banner. That's basically it. And it's like it's just missing that
If
I
like
agree.
if you've already
that
gone
direction,
if you've already gotten Unbroken title as well, then there's
Yeah, exactly.
no
There's
reason for you to
literally no
reach,
reason to play.
right? Yeah. There's no reason to reach
Like,
500.
I got Revoker, and I played a little bit of solo comp here and there just for the sake of it, but like there's
Yeah,
nothing.
you're already done with this season, huh?
Yeah, like I don't know, it's like in Overwatch and the games you play for the rank, right?
Mhm.
But you just don't get. It's just not like that in Destiny. It's too loot focused.
You don't
So-
get anything for reaching those ranks too, right? Like you reach Fabled
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, I got the gun. I don't need to play anymore unless you're going for that title and you don't have it yet. There's no like special shader that you can get or emblem or really anything to keep
Yeah,
you
there's
playing.
not even too many cosmetics or anything.
No.
So
Yeah, I remember when they announced comp and the leaderboards or what I think were envisioning that there'd be like a leaderboard system, and here we are. years
That's
later.
why
now.
Trials was great, right? Because it had all of those cosmetics that you could get. You could get all of the
weapons.
the adept weapons. You could get special armor and stuff for going flawless. You could get a lot of
There
stuff.
was so much, yeah.
There was
Like,
a
you'd
lot
get-
in Trials.
Yeah, like you get shredded by a doctrine of passing adept, and like you
Mhm.
see that, and you're like, all right, how am I going to get it? You're like,
Yeah.
got to get to the lighthouse.
Gotta go
And I'm
flawless.
like, who's going to carry me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
who's gonna
and then,
carry
like,
me
that
to the
in
lighthouse?
turn
Who do
creates
I gotta
buzz
blow
around
to get to the
PvP, doesn't it?
lighthouse?
Like, there's just no buzz
Wow.
around PvP in Destiny 2. Like, it's just not there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you don't need leaderboards and stuff. Like, if the game's super popular, then I could see like it having like like Twitch rivals and all that kind of thing. Just out of anything out of the game could go big. It just needs to be good at what it's good at, and become really popular on Twitch.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah.
It doesn't even need to be the best balanced game in the world. It just needs to be the best version of what it is, if that makes any sense.
I mean,
That's a
that's
great way to
that's
put
why
it.
there's still a scene around the PvP in Destiny. That's why like it's always been there, because there is something special about Destiny's PvP, but it's always
Definitely,
but it's always been hampered by these problems when it comes to being shot around the wall and just the peer-to-peer in 2019 and all that. And in fact, when they announced comp, I was like, the very first thing I thought about were the problems that we're experiencing today with DDoSing and just straight up lag in the Crucible. I was like, well, this is clearly going to be a DDoS/lag fest. And that was before comp got released. And now here we are with like waiting to find out what they're actually going to do with that stuff.
Yeah, it's like if you go into high rank comp without a VPN, you're basically you're gonna get DDoSed.
Yep.
That's
Which is
insane. That's
It is
pretty,
insane. It is insane.
Yeah, it's way worse like this than it was in D1. Like in D1, there was DOSing in Trials, but like it wasn't like as rampant as it is in D2.
It's crazy.
And again, I think the comp playlist is just, for me, I'm not a big fan. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that way when it comes to the PvP in this game, because there's nothing.
Bring back Trials. That's all we want. Let's be honest. Just bring it back. It's time.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Trials of
It's time.
Cyrus.
I've been
Osiris. Yeah, that's what I want.
None of this
Telling you, I
crap.
want him to kick Brother Vance out of the lighthouse.
Yeah, I'd love to hear your perspective on that, Sheik. It's something that I've said a lot where I'm like, honestly, I get they wanted to do something new and we're in a new sandbox, but like, the simplest answer I've had is like, just give me Trials of Osiris Classic. Just give me that. And I don't know, does that seem like it would even work in the current sandbox? And is that what you want with Trials? What would you want?
I think it's
you could have it
interesting
now.
because if we could have it now, I think it would definitely have its problems, but it would still be like something, right? And it's better than nothing. So it would be good. But I think if they can build towards it in Shadowkeep and drop it like a season after Shadowkeep, or even with Shadowkeep, I think there's enough hype coming with Shadowkeep for all the other reasons, all the PvE changes, the RPG elements, cross save, Bungie being, on their own. If you, roll Trials into that big ball of hype, I think it could blow up. So maybe like right now, maybe not, but like for September, like definitely. Like,
But
Yeah.
that's
Would
the
you-
ideal situation.
would you want it to go back to 3v3?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. 3v3.
Same.
Bring back the boon system, all of that kind of thing. Change the loot to how it was in D1 as well, or improve upon it even. Like you could have a pinnacle Trials weapon, trial mods, whatever. There's so many things they could do.
Trials mods.
Tab size is lit up.
I don't know.
I think like how awesome and how broken that could be at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's just running these class mods. Oh my god.
I'm starting. Yeah, they're super mods.
Yeah.
I'm starting to what maybe, with what you were saying, I was thinking, I was like, it's seeming like Trials may not be as close as we want it to be just because of all the delays it's had. I'm starting to wonder if it might be like a 5-year anniversary kind of thing, which would be like next April or May.
I feel like they
Might
have to
be
do
that
this.
It's a
far out.
possibility.
I feel like they have to do this foundational rebuild first, and whatever that is. If it,
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
if like,
What did they say was going to be the season of PvP? Did they say season 10?
They did say the season after, didn't they? The season after.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think it would be weird to have like a season of PvP and not have Trials in the mix.
That's
a good
true, but
point.
what they were just saying that they need to test it out first before you go introducing something like that. I don't know.
which I do agree.
Apparently it was season 8. Oh,
I feel like they need
that's
to
soon.
they need to test out this stuff, make sure it's working, and then be like, boom, here's your Trials revamped 2019.
I'm going with a 5-year anniversary. That's my bet today.
I'm saying that it's coming out November, holiday season trials.
With the PvP
Basically,
season,
basically the season after Shadowkeep comes out. I feel like Bungie clearly knows how popular Trials was. It was huge for everything. So I think they definitely want to bring it back, and I think that with September it would make sense for them to bring it back.
It was huge, right? But it was definitely waning in popularity when Destiny 2 came out.
It was towards
Right?
the end, yeah.
They
I think
kind of killed
D2,
it a little bit.
Yeah, it just wasn't the same D2 from the get-go.
No, I mean at the end of D1. Like
Oh,
in
it was
D1,
it was pretty bad at the end of D1
So-
too. It was all like
Yeah.
sticky nades. You lost your
Yeah.
ammo. The special ammo change was really bad.
I think it was a
The
combination of
sandbox.
sandbox and and it being out for a while at that point too. So
Yeah.
The sandbox
Super
was really bad at the end right there. And
yeah,
like aside from roaming supers and heavy ammo being issues, and obviously peer to peer, I feel like the PvP sandbox could actually be in its best state if they just fix some of those. Like if they brought back heavy ammo rounds, and if they brought back or toned down the roaming supers, like there's a lot of options, a lot of viability in the Crucible right now.
I would say the base of the game now is better than Year 3 D1 because Year 3 D1 was really really bad.
Yeah,
in a lot of ways.
People just use an icebreaker to get around the ammo issue.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys want to talk about the Menagerie a little bit?
Yeah.
We did the hard mode Menagerie this week. It released with a whimper, I'd say.
A little.
It's people were like, basically with heroic, there's not going to be much of a reason to keep doing heroic over just doing the regular Menagerie. Heroic's going to be something that you hit up to get your triumphs done for the title, to try and get the sword, and then like once.
What are the changes for hard mode?
Harder.
It's not that much harder. The enemies levels go up to what is it, 770.
Yep.
There are modifiers on. One of them was iron, which was a pain in the neck because bosses just had so much health on them.
Yeah, the boss was the biggest change I noticed. Everything else seemed smooth until boom, we got to the boss, and then it was like bullet sponge, like a raid boss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we wipe during that entire run though?
No.
We just walked right through it. What did it take us? About a half hour, 40 minutes?
Not even. So around a half hour.
It wasn't very long. Yeah.
It wasn't very long. Yeah. So for a challenge mode activity,
crushed it.
I mean, we are very good.
I mean, yeah, like especially when I'm on those tethers, but boom, just pinpoint,
nailing
just putting them exactly where Tefty told you to.
Like a laser.
But yeah, I mean, it was kind of like I was definitely expecting a bigger challenge.
I thought the mechanics, I guess when I heard about it, part of me did just expect each encounter to be a little bit harder. And what I'd say is, for me, the first several were not that much harder. The boss was as hard as I sort of was thinking it would be pretty tough. But I was hoping there might be maybe they even said this wouldn't be happening, but in the back of my mind, I was hoping it might be prestige or raid challenges where there was going to be a couple different things, but there really wasn't any of that, right?
No, just harder enemies.
What if we found it in the first encounter with the lamps that only half the team could grab the orbs, or you die, or who knows? We got to pass the ball, or I sort of expected it to be a little bit different. And
some mechanic changes.
Pretty much the same till the end. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically just bullet sponge type of stuff.
Bullet sponge.
Yeah, ammo economy issues, which I'm never a fan of the game getting harder because of ammo economy.
Yeah.
That's just annoying to me.
It was only a problem at the end, though, right, Tef? That's when we were like, I'm out of ammo because of the bullets.
I had literally no ammo in any weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do wonder if that was because of the iron modifier, though. Like next week, if that iron modifier isn't on.
Well, here's the thing, Briar. It's curated, those modifiers. So they're specifically choosing these modifiers each week for this. So are they really going to give us heavyweight and not iron?
No, I don't think so. But iron in particular, when you're battling enemies that are 20 above your maximum light level, that's going to chew up a lot of ammo.
Yeah, but still, I don't think that's a fun mechanic to make it more difficult.
Yeah.
I think that's just an annoying mechanic.
To shoot stuff with anything except.
That's what I'm saying, is that I'm hoping that it won't be like that next week.
Oh,
without iron.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Because it's curated, I wonder if they're going to make it just a pain in the ass each week.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And then to me, it's just not worth it. Like the extra challenge and trying to get a raid, or not a raid team, but a Menagerie team together. Like their loot
Yeah,
didn't
it's
seem
6
worth it. It's just the
people.
same loot.
Yep.
For me, heroic, I'm just gonna do it to get the title and once a week to get the 7 cores, or the god roll with max masterwork.
Where do you
That's
get
all I would do.
Did the 7 cores just drop, or
There-
No, if it's from dismantling.
from dismantling, that's right.
Yeah. So like worst case scenario, you get 7 cores. Best case scenario, you get your god roll and it's max masterwork.
Yeah, I would have really liked to see, it be appropriately hard enough, but then maybe take some of the bad perks out of the loot pool in that, and so you have a higher chance of getting something better in there. And only once a week, right? So like something like that might be more incentivizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the requirement of having to bring your own team in, I really did expect to have some changes to the actual mechanics. So like some added mechanics to each of the encounters. With the way it played out, I don't really see a reason why there can't be matchmaking for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The final boss would be rough. Like it would take you a while, but as long as you don't all die, you'd probably get it.
You don't really have to communicate that much because you know what you're
There's-
doing. Yeah, I'm at a loss. Same thing. I was like, I had that thought. It was literally just today. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna give it a try. And then I was like, wait, I can't matchmake. And then I was like, why?
Yeah.
Like you just keep fighting and whatever. If you get thrown to orbit, I don't know if that creates a problem, but.
Well, they got
even
that three man heroic Menagerie Triumph, so you technically wouldn't be able to do that if you wanted to, if they put matchmaking in there. But I always wonder, like, why don't they just have it an option to be like, check the box that says you want matchmaking?
They had that with the spooky forest, right?
Yeah, you selected 2 different ones. Like,
that's what I was just about to say. Give us that.
yeah,
option.
firewalled off, and yeah, I don't get it because
Firewall.
I agree, it wasn't really. It was like, it was just annoyingly more difficult. And the rewards.
I think they would need to add. They need to add something to it. I mean, I know we're going to talk about the changes coming to Menagerie later, but maybe in heroic they let you farm the chest.
Yeah, I was hoping for adept weapons. To be honest with you, like I think that would have been really cool. Like an extra perk on all the Menagerie weapons. Cool.
Yeah.
Or an extra perk. I see.
Sheik, did you do it? Did you do heroic Menagerie?
The heroic, no, I did not actually. I passed basically because the loot doesn't seem worth it, so I didn't bother.
Yeah.
You don't want a sword?
Pretty much.
From the boss?
Nah. I like swords in D1, Tefty.
I feel you on
D2.
that, man.
Yeah.
D2 swords are kind of sad. Sad face.
Yeah, like considering all the stuff you have to do to launch heroic, like you guys are just saying, like I feel like there should be some better stuff in there.
Yep.
Like curated roles, something.
Yeah, there are curated roles, but the curated role I got wasn't that good.
No,
it's
that
not
was
a
masterwork.
curated role though.
Yeah, like
They-
you
Oh,
like
was it?
guaranteed
Okay.
a masterwork or something. It's not like a curated.
Yeah, that's
it'll
all.
just be-
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you have the same chance at getting whatever role you normally would get. It's just the first one. It comes with the full masterwork.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
My bad.
which is
Yeah.
disappointing.
It's cool. I mean, I like that they did that. I want more loot. I like that they did that because everyone has their different idea of what a god roll is, depending on if you play PvP or PvE or how you like to play those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely like to see more. There's just no reason to do it after once a week.
You're just checking off your shadow title, essentially, and getting the Izanagi's Burden Catalyst, and that's it.
Yep.
Once you got that stuff, there's no reason to go back into it unless you really need those cores, in which, for me, I don't even think I'd go in for the cores.
I would.
Yeah?
I would love to be in a position where I'm sitting on like 2,000 cores and I'm just like using them as intended in my mind, where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna masterwork my armor because I have the money and I don't have the cores, but I hate.
You know what always happens,
enhancement
Fran, is
core
I save
economy.
them all season and then use them like raid day, and that's the
but
only
that's-
time I ever use them.
Exactly, because you're terrified to use them. The most
Yeah.
of this is the problem. Anyway, I think it is worth it for the enhancement cores if you believe that masterworking armor is even worth it. Yeah, and I think Shadowkeep will fix a lot of that.
I
We
haven't
can now.
even masterworked a piece of armor yet.
Yeah,
Me neither.
Really?
I did. I have
No.
for raids.
I
Yeah,
haven't.
where I'm like, you don't know what's coming, and you're like, I'm gonna go with arc resistance because it's fallen, and I'll go for it. And I did that for Scourge, and then I realized I was like, this isn't.
Isn't that
really-
only when you're in your
was not
super, though?
worth it. No, it isn't. Is it?
I think
it's
only when you're in your super.
Whoa.
Or is that only for PvP?
Now you made me. I mean, I've
Anybody
only
know?
done it once. To be fair, so
I think
good
it's only
question.
when
Maybe
it's
only
in
when
your
you're
super. I could be
When
wrong.
we
Even
were
that
in
is still
Last
good.
Wish, I masterworked everything I had because I was so severely under level for that raid that there was tons of things like the Taken Knights, their bubble that they shoot out that blinds you, that would one-shot me. So I was doing everything I could. I masterworked all my armor. I did all the kind of, does less damage against this guy and that guy. I was like, that's the last time I like really masterworked everything I had.
I don't really
funny,
see.
chat lit up.
Yeah.
With everybody's confused by that as well. That just goes to show you. We had people say, "Oh, it's definitely all the time in PvE." Others were like, "No, it's only in Super." And then anyway, it was literally every.
If it
answer
made
you
that big
gave.
of a difference, then people would know. They'd be like, "Oh, well,
Yeah.
this is for sure what you got to do." Right?
Well, it's a small difference anyway.
Anyway, like even for infusing into weapons, though, like you get into a planetary material problem as well, where you need to make
Yeah,
sure
you
to
do.
bought all that crap from Spider.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Overall, yeah, heroic. Like, especially that it's not matchmaking. I don't think it's going to be used that often. I think it's a big problem.
No, it's unfortunate. They should really just put matchmaking for it.
Yeah, fix the triumph problem
Yeah.
another way.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. It was disappointing, honestly. I'm looking forward to Lumina next week, but this week I was like, oh, heroic. Honestly, when I read what heroic was going to be, I didn't have high expectations because we already knew certain things were in the database and what it could potentially drop. So it was already like,
Oh, really? I didn't know.
yeah, I knew that a sword was going to drop and I knew a catalyst was going to be in there, but like I wasn't expecting some surprise gun. Like it would have been cool if you could only get a Menagerie grenade launcher from there. That'd have been cool.
Yep.
But that would have
It's
been worth it.
unfortunate that it's swords, right? Because it's like swords aren't in the best place right now, and it's like, oh yeah, do heroic to get a sword. But if it was like do heroic to get a grenade launcher, maybe it drops in all elements. That would be awesome. I don't know. Something.
Yeah.
Please.
Agreed.
Something.
Yeah.
Something.
Or
I wonder if
they could use it for something else later on down the line as well, like a exotic quest or something like that. Maybe Hawkmoon comes back.
Maybe it's part of the Lumina quest. And you gotta do heroic.
I mean,
Menagerie.
yeah.
got to farm
I
heroic
do
Menagerie.
like I feel like we're real down on the heroic Menagerie. I do like the Menagerie. Like I enjoy the whole process of going through it. Like each encounter is actually pretty fun to me, and I really like getting to the end and that rush to
And then getting like 7
open the
drops.
chest,
Yeah.
right? And then like running out of the level to reload the instance and come back and open another chest, and then like do I just want to do hand cannons this run, like 6 hand cannons? Can I get 7? Is it possible?
Yeah.
Like how fast can I do
run?
this? Right, it's totally fun. It's
on
like
PC,
it's
you got to have
really
your thumb.
exciting.
You have your thumb on the M key, so you can immediately hit the go into the menus just like that. You're sliding around the corner.
Nice.
Boom. Boom, boom.
Unfortunately, they announced at the TWAB today that on July 9th, they're going to fix that encounter so you can only get a maximum of 1 chest from Menagerie.
Big yikes.
This is a huge mistake, Bungie. Don't do it. Like, this is fun. Why do you hate fun? This is fun.
So I could see that maybe they don't want people getting upwards of 10 drops per run. But there has to be a better middle ground where maybe you let people get 3.
How about a shorter timer then? A shorter timer, so we can still get a few drops.
Still get a few, but not a ton.
Like, I like the way it is. It's really fun. It totally reminds me of House of Wolves, doing the chest farming in the same manner. Like, that was fun. They got rid of that. I never understood why they would get rid of something that the entire community is having a blast doing.
Yeah.
Well,
just don't do it. Don't change it. It's good. It's fun. People are enjoying it.
They've had
Less
this
people are going to
around.
enjoy Menagerie if you make this change. That's
Just
it.
let the
That's
man
true.
get his loot, man. Just let the man get his loot.
And
Yeah, no.
people have been able to run this for a while now, and there's most people do not have everything they want from the Menagerie. You have to think about it.
Yeah.
You're looking for all of these weapons, all of these armor with enhanced perks. You want very specific perks on stuff, and then you are limited by the amount of runes that you have. So you have to go and farm runes and then go back to the Menagerie. So you can't just sit in there and just farm everything you want without any downside to it.
Let me just ask, like, a quick informal poll of everybody on this call. Who thinks this is a good change?
No.
I personally don't think it's that bad. I'm gonna be that guy, devil's advocate.
Yeah, let's hear it. What's the
let's hear
reasoning?
it.
All right,
Why is
okay.
that?
Here's the thing, right? Like, if you look at any activity that Destiny's ever had, it's never allowed you to get like 5 or 6 drops at once. We're kind of cheating, you know, and it feels good. Don't get me wrong, I love it too. You know, that feeling where I'm getting 5 drops when I should only get 1, or whatever. It's awesome, but it's something they've never done before. So I think it was blatantly like unintentional.
It's definitely
and I'm also saying
unintentional.
this as well because I'm just that guy who's got really lucky and I've literally got everything I need from Menagerie. And I
Oh
don't
man,
even play
fuck
it again.
you.
Oh wow.
Yeah, see, you know,
I have
So
like
you just
60
don't want
rooms of
everybody else to
desire.
get what you've already got.
Did you get?
I'm just like, I'm chilling.
Did you
I'm
get
basically chilling.
dude.
Quick Draw Snapshot, beloved?
Yeah, I have one of those. Yeah, I literally have like one of everything that I wanted, basically.
I'm telling you,
Wow.
I have pulled nearly 100 of those and have not seen one roll of Quick Shot Snapdraw.
Snapdraw. That's what I
Snapdraw,
like.
quick draw.
Snapdraw.
Snapdraw.
That is the Snapdraw beloved. Yep.
Maybe a good middle ground would be like if
That's
you
good,
like
I like
beat
that.
every encounter without dying, you get maybe an extra drop for that or something. That could be like
Something. I feel like I don't know if you guys have run this with a not very optimal team before. I did my first run on PlayStation when I like just hit enough light to go in.
Yeah.
And it took us freaking forever to get through.
it
the
could take
whole
a
Yeah.
while.
a
when you fail your way
long
to the
time.
end.
So to spend upwards of 40 minutes potentially for not good teams
Yeah, that is
of
true.
running this thing and getting 1 drop, it's like I could do a raid in that amount of time.
Yeah, and they're not power drops either, so you're not getting light level out of it. You're just literally farming for loot, and it's fun. People used to do Omnigul, and they patched that.
Yeah.
People used to do the House of Wolves chest farm. They patched that. Like, this isn't a loot cave scenario, I don't think.
It's not. No, I
This
don't think
is-
so.
It's like true to form for Bungie to patch it though.
Yeah.
I would say.
For sure.
I know it is, and I'm saying that, like, this is a bad approach. I'm saying, like, let the people have some fun. Sometimes things don't
But
hurt the
I
game.
think there's a good compromise to be had here with just lowering the timer, allowing us to maybe have enough time to get 3, but not completely nuking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
It's a weird position to be in, though, to be like, yeah, it's bugged as designed, but we'll just cut the bug in half. We'll still let you know what I mean? Like, in other words, it would point to then Menagerie, maybe the reward itself isn't good enough if you don't feel like it's worth running once. I mean, I understand where they're coming from.
I think they don't want to
but I
set a
agree.
precedent as well, do they, for future stuff?
Yeah, and I mean, I agree with you in the sentiment, though, which is like, Watts, I think your point is what was on the nose for me, is that the time that it takes you, the per minute, the per hour, whatever, right? It has to add up. That's why we don't really feel like doing heroic, but I'll do regular. But like last night, I was doing Lake of Shadows because I never picked up Malicious Birthright, and like we can crush through that in like 5 minutes. And I'm like, that's fine. And it became like a really fun speed run. In fact, all the Nightfall weapons for me have been the only time in Destiny where I've tried to like learn how to speedrun stuff, or at least do a decent job and make something of the time and the points. So I feel like that's the direction it needs to go, though. So whether it's one reward or whatever, it just has to be worth it. So, give us, maybe they just need to put 2 drops in there. If I'm making that up, but like maybe we run it normal, but you're
Guaranteed
saying, okay,
2.
we're going to give you 2 drops. Like 1 power for
there's
the
the
week.
perk
and 1,
on the chalice, right? That has a chance to give you 2 drops.
Yes.
a chance. That's
They
true.
could they could ramp that up significantly.
Yeah.
Maybe.
They could ramp it up, yeah.
So,
But,
but my issue with them patching this is I'm looking at it and I'm going to have an absolute ungodly amount of freaking runes in my inventory. I mean, they're not taking up space, obviously. It's just going to be in my chalice, but it's going to be like,
thank God.
it's going to be hundreds of each rune, maybe even thousands by the end of the summer. And like, why? I'm not going to be able to burn through those. Like,
Right.
you're getting all these runes.
Yeah, because you can't just use them.
So at that point, it's like, why even have the runes if it's going to hit that point? Because you can only get 1 chest pull each time.
Well, that's what I think balanced, although we're obviously not supposed to be getting this many drops, that's what I think actually balanced it and made it okay, is the fact that we had to use runes. We couldn't just run this activity over and over and over again. I used all of my like 20 hand cannon runes. I got to go get some more. I can't even go run it right now.
Yeah.
So I feel like the runes is what really balanced it and made this okay.
Yeah. You'd hit an end of how many jubilations you have, but you're like, well, I'm done. I can't pull anymore.
You're like, yeah, I gotta go farm some
I've
stuff.
gotta go play
you can't
other
just
activities.
endlessly farm Menagerie.
Yeah.
Again,
Can't
I
do
just got
that.
really lucky with that. I have a shitload of every single one. I don't know why, but I just do. I don't have that
PvP
problem.
actually gives you a good amount.
Yeah, I just get loads, dude.
But like that,
I get 2 hand cannon ones.
that was a really fun loop right there. Like you go play some PvP, you get the runes that you want to go try out, you jump into Menagerie.
I really like that.
You pull 4 or 5 of those, and then you go back into PvP or you go into strikes, and like that was a great loop. That was a great like loot loop system right there. And now they're just killing it like that. Like maybe, how about this? How about they have like 5 chests that all spawn? All right, the first one you just have to have your chalice loaded up. The next ones, hold up. The next ones you have to pay legendary shards to unlock. Be like 5 legendary shards if you want to chalice this one and unlock it. That way, there's not this like economy problem. What if they hid the 5
chests? So you gotta go find them.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Keep the timer the same. You just gotta run around and be like, guys, where's the chest?
Yeah.
That would actually be really fun.
That would be amazing. It'd be like you'd have to run a maze. Like they'd all spawn in.
Okay, I love that idea.
As the first one.
It's a huge.
You got to run around and find them, and it's got to, but it stays the same for I don't know, like all week or maybe just a day. So you can memorize the route.
That's
but only for a certain amount of time, and then the next time at refresh it or reset, it changes. So you got to
That's the one right there. I wish they'd done that because that'd be awesome. But yeah, like if they're worried about an economy problem, like make the chest cost money or cost stuff after the first one, because these runes are going to pile up.
The only thing the reason that I can see that they'd be doing it is that they want to keep the lifespan of the Menagerie going, right? They don't want people to get their god roll of everything immediately. But I feel like this might have a counter effect of people will get burnt out doing Menagerie and they just will stop doing it. They'll be like, you know what, my hand cannon with rangefinder, Eye of the Storm doesn't have accurize, but it has range masterwork. I'll just deal with that. That's fine.
Yeah. Hopefully there'll be something new next season.
Yeah, like I think it's going to affect the matchmaking on it, and it's just going to fizzle out as we head towards Shadowkeep. I really think that's going to be the side effect, unfortunately. But I understand again why. I wouldn't say to leave it quote unquote broken, but people, prior to your point, we're actually like we're just having fun where we're not having fun with Lord of Wolves. We are having fun with this, and you've got to balance those moments out. And I'm like, yeah, like. I also don't think like it's causing a huge issue. Like, yeah, some folks in chat are like, oh, it breaks the economy. And I was like, I don't see it being a huge issue right now. Like, I'm not.
I've been,
a bunch of people
it's not affecting me.
It.
I've been running it and I've got I'm still somewhere around 10,000, 11,000 legendary shards. And like, I'm not suddenly swimming in cores, masterwork cores or anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, I hope I am after that. Like I said, I hope I'm sitting on a mountain of them.
I mean,
you have 1 week to farm your
I'll be the Guardian Con for half of it. So
you still have to play the game in order to get rewards from Menagerie. Like you can't just do Menagerie to get this stuff. You have to actually go to different things to get the specific drops. Exactly. And so cutting it down like this is definitely disappointing. I thought we were maybe going to a new era of loot with Bungie with like the whole more action RPG focus type of thing, but I'm a little disappointed that they're like, it's a little too much loot for you. Too much loot.
It's the same thing that Anthem had, right? Like Anthem had a bug where their loot, everyone's like, oh, we're getting so much loot. This is awesome. And then they're like, no. And everyone's like, has consistently said, we like getting loot, guys. We like farming for loot, and it being that the activity can take a while. If you're with random people, it can take a little bit. You failed some encounters, you have to go do another encounter again, and I don't think 1 drop is rewarding. I mean, we'll see how it feels, but I don't feel like it's rewarding enough.
Yeah, it's too bad.
So guys, speaking of loot, like I've been complaining a lot lately about the leveling up process and how tedious it feels, like where you start leveling up with like a new DLC or something, and you don't. What the problem is, it's like Tefty like often says, like they don't refresh the loot in the game so that you're still getting the same loot. You're just literally waiting to get higher power numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing a lot of Bloodstained, which I can't wait to talk about on side quests. I'm thoroughly in love with this game. Side quest, 4 p.m. Eastern, Mondays, right here on this channel. Check it out; it's really good. But I've been playing a lot of Bloodstained. And Bloodstained is like a Castlevania style game where you find loot as you go, and you slowly power up your character with a leveling system, but also with the loot. Like you're constantly getting different loot and different swords and different armor and stuff like that. And it reminded me a lot of playing Destiny 1, where every time we got a DLC, one of the things that was awesome is you'd start getting blues again, right? And then as you were leveling up your character, you'd experience a brand new all the new loot that they added to the world, like all the vendor refreshes and all that stuff. And man, I really, really miss that about the season pass. Like the season pass has not had a loot refresh. Like they have new loot, but you got to be in end game to get it. Getting up to end game, there's no new loot at all, right?
Or you got to play Gambit.
No new PvP maps either.
Yeah, no new PvP maps.
Yeah. But like playing Bloodstained really kind of shined a light on how you don't get any new weapons, you don't get any new like your leveling up is purely all about just power level because you're still getting the same guns and the same armor that you were getting last season. It's just now that stuff can drop at a higher power level.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's definitely the biggest disappointments I've had with all the seasonal content. This is by far the best season that they've had so far since Forsaken. But it is for sure underscored by the fact that no new world drops hurts the game. It really does.
Not ideal, I would say.
Yeah. It's not ideal.
But it's kind of also excusable because of like how much there's a huge turnaround with Forsaken and everything. So
that's true.
Kind of, yeah.
But they
Shadowkeep though, we're expecting big things, of course.
The problem with that is that they came from year 3 of Destiny 1, which had this great trajectory aside from sticky nades and Icebreaker in that type of situation.
Yeah,
but like
the model of it was pretty good.
Yeah, like the trajectory was fantastic and we were super excited. And then they took a sharp turn with Destiny 2 Vanilla and we were like, what is going on? And then they're like, sorry, somebody was drunk at the ship. Got to turn this oil rig all the way around towards the direction that we want to go. And now we're finally getting to that point. And I feel like every time they did do a drop, they had that understanding in D1 where they had to refresh drops. Otherwise, it was like, why are you grinding that content again? You know, maybe it was an experiment.
One thing I hate is like going back to the Dreaming City every time. I hate that. Like,
you don't like Blind Well?
Fan.
That's definitely a joke.
This feeling of it. I know, but it's like every time there's a new DLC, everyone's like, right, gonna go do my powerfuls. It's like we've been doing these powerfuls since September. Like, just don't want to do that.
It gets very repetitive.
Yeah.
Especially when you're not getting any new rewards for it. Like you're getting the exact same rewards you got in September.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dreaming City could have had like a loot refresh maybe at some point.
Well, that's why I think like the whole like vendors need to refresh and world drops need to refresh. So when you get an engram on the ground, like when you see a power engram and you're leveling up, you just strictly think of the power. You don't think about what that could be.
Yeah.
And that's
like it's another Go figure or Duke or whatever.
Like that's sad. You should see it and go, oh man, what is that going to be? What's this new legendary that I just got? And no, it's not like that.
Unfortunately, with the way that seasons are and the way that they're giving us new content, we would basically have to choose between getting a new activity and a new raid and getting new loot in that new activity and new raid, or having the world refresh with new stuff. Because it's going to be too much for them to create every 3 months for this stuff. Like with the big yearly drops, for sure, like 100% you can get that because they have a lot more time to work on it, and obviously they're charging more money for it. But yeah, it's rough to fit that amount of design and work into such a short period of time. But
what if they don't just do full on redesigns, but like borderline reskins of stuff with different names and different stats? So then there is a new archetype to chase of a certain like hand cannon or gun, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, like even now there are plenty of year 1 weapons they could bring back with random rolls that they haven't as well.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
All of the Osiris stuff could have that treatment. Be year 2ified.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was actually kind of looking forward to it. I don't know if you guys remember the weapon, the Nurgle, that Omelon pulse rifle.
Yeah.
I was always kind of waiting for that to come back with random rolls, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah,
I like that
exactly.
weapon.
That's it. Yeah, I always tell people I like annual skate a lot, and like, it's just stuff like adding that back to a loot pool.
Maybe they will at some point. Maybe they're still holding it back, but we'll see.
Yeah, but I do agree. Yeah, like seeing legendary engrams, I'm like, whatever. Like unless I'm in the right activity. Yeah, I'm like, what? I just got to delete this, man. It actually, my vault's so bad, it like freaks me out every time I see one. I'm like, oh, well,
Yeah.
don't do this to me.
And like I also want to reiterate the fact, like, I'm not saying that they need to completely redesign armor and guns from the ground up every 3 months. I'm just talking about like seeing the same exact edge transit over and over, or cut and run, or go figures. Those, they really like undercut the excitement of the loot chase in Destiny.
One thing that like I could definitely see that they could do. So every season they've introduced like new perks, right? Like a new perk pool. Having the new perks go on old weapons would be totally viable because they're not having to do any new art for stuff. They're not having to do any new work. It would just be adding for Tiger Spite. We're adding the new perk pool to Tiger Spite. So now when a Tiger Spite drops, it might have one of those new perks that's actually way better than the old perks you could get.
That'd be awesome.
That would be great.
I'd be interested every time I get a drop. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that in combination with maybe some light weapon balances as well. Like it doesn't seem like that much work to take. Yeah, like we were saying, like pop annual skate back in the pool and slightly tweak it or something and say like it's, you know, it's new. And now like when you'd be looking for it in drops, you know. And then like, yeah, you look at even like the Nightfall weapons. I really think they did a good job with those overall. So I wouldn't want to take it away, but like we need more of that again in the loot pool. Like I got Silicon Aroma, I got it done, and then I'm like done. But wouldn't it be cool if I was like searching for like a random roll that I really wanted? Or
yeah, that's how the strike weapons worked in Destiny 1, and people would just grind the strikes that had the weapons they wanted.
Yep.
Yep. A little more Destiny 1 and Destiny 2.
Anything else in the TWAB we want to talk about? I think that was it, right?
The only other thing was when they mentioned that Lumina is coming to the game.
Yes.
Yes.
They said that next week the Lumina quest becomes available to all annual pass owners. We are excited to see Guardians wielding this weapon to support each other in combat. We won't spoil too much, but you should expect to start your hunt for this weapon in the EDZ.
Cool.
So that was
this weapon
cool.
gonna heal your teammates? Because that's what it sounds like.
I think so.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
It's funny because obviously shooting other enemies is supporting your team in combat. Is this coming from anywhere else other than just like there seems to be a wink and a nod in the sentence? Like
it seems like there's a wink and nod in the sentence. Also, there seems to be a link between this gun and Thorn. And Thorn, you know, steals life. It saps life.
That's
so if you support, you know,
I
like
think
the inverse of that would be to give life, right?
I'm not
that
sure.
adds. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's been data mined. So like, I don't know if you guys don't want to talk about it or not.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. Want to. Never mind.
Okay.
I already know what it does. I already know what it does, but I'm not gonna say that.
Oh really? People data. Yeah. See, I don't want to know that. Like, because we don't do that on this show, unfortunately, for some people. But
so you don't want to get too in depth about the possibilities. But Mercy mains in Destiny 2.
Right.
Anyone in chat?
So we had in the pre-show we were talking about no aim assist with the controller on your teammates. If you do have,
so
assuming it's healing,
we were saying if it does end up being a gun where it's literally the exact opposite of Thorn and you heal your teammates instead of damage over time your enemies, there is no aim assist at all on your teammates. That's the one way that when we had to do no HUD during the Guardian Con stream, I knew it wasn't you guys because I had no magnetism at all.
Oh, I didn't even think of that, Watts.
That's the only way. I was like,
I was using a mouse and keyboard, but if I switched over to controller, it would have totally.
So my test was melees. If my melee didn't lock onto somebody, then they were a teammate like that.
So yeah, if you do have to aim and shoot at your teammates and there's no magnetism, that would be weird.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to shoot somebody.
It is.
It might not work like that. It could work in a different way. Like
it could be
maybe you
somebody
kill someone and they drop an orb and your teammate runs over that, he gets healed or something. Could be like
it could work like that because they already have that kind of in the game, right? Both with Thorn and with Radiance Warlocks dropping their grenade on the floor.
Yeah.
So basically, be the gun, you'd kill a person and it would, or an enemy, and it would drop this orb and your teammates could pick it up. That could work.
Yeah.
Either way, it'll be cool to, if it is that though, I really started to think about it when you guys said it. Was just like, there's some support in the game, like you were just getting at, Watts, but there's not like I don't know. Yeah, we don't use the bubble as much, and I think there could be room for more of
I think it would be a PvE thing more than PvP in all likelihood.
Yeah.
Probably.
Which I'm
I
cool
like
with too. That could be
cannon just
awesome.
feels really good. If it just
It'll be
feels
cool
really
to
good,
test in
it plays
PvP.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll definitely be. It's never before done in this game, right? It's completely new.
Yeah, a healing
Moving more
mechanic.
towards RPG, guys. Adding support
Mhm.
weapons. You have Well of Radiance, which is the first like support kind of class in D2. So it's exciting.
Interesting,
Mhm.
if anything.
Looking forward to it. It's a pretty gun, at the very
So
least.
Bungie went over to Reddit and was talking about another community summit, and they're basically taking applications to bring somebody from Reddit over to the community summit. Right? They asked for people to put submissions on why they should go, and if you want to go to the Bungie community summit, which I think is going to happen this summer, you should definitely jump onto Reddit and reply to that post.
Yep. Yeah, it's awesome. I think they're just going to grab a random community member from Reddit and let you represent that voice. It's really cool. Like, yeah, for clarity, right? You don't have to work at Reddit. It's not that. It's just be part of the
community.
Someone, just someone who you basically just have to go to the post on Reddit, or I think it was on the official Bungie forums as well. It's basically just an open application. You go to fill out the application, and they'll pick somebody.
Yeah.
And they mentioned that you're going to be checking out the September content.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure
you're going to be able to see that.
They wanted screen grabs of your emblems with raid clears on them to see how many times you've cleared the raid. Which joking. Definitely didn't do that. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and we all know that streamers are evil and make all the bad things, but a random community member is going to be perfect and give.
Goes without saying.
So
definitely.
Yes.
I only want to destroy the game. Clearly.
Yes.
Yeah,
my sole goal
absolutely.
in life.
Yep.
Wake up in the morning. How am I going to ruin Destiny 2 today?
I have a notepad next to my bed with checkboxes of how I can ruin things. You know, like
I've got notches of the things I've ruined carved into my bedpost.
But yeah, from the TWAB, those were like the big newsworthy items. But they did talk about what the new Destiny Grimoire anthology.
Yes. New emote
book is coming, and there's an emote with it. Yeah, and if you buy the emote, you get a 20% discount on the anthology, but only up until a certain amount of time. You have until July 9th if you buy the. You need to visit Bungie Rewards and redeem your discount starting July 2nd if you do that. So. But it's a new emote called Consult the Archives. And it's basically, it's fun if you like lore. Bife's going to be all over it.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, you like grab a book out of air, flip it open, and then like all of these like runes and symbols and stuff appear above your head. And you look up at them in awe.
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
It is. It's a cool emote.
So that was cool.
Cool.
You guys want to do some Twitter questions?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right.
Wait, can I still ask? I know it's funny. I was saying like,
it.
I had that one question I did want to ask Sheik and all you guys, but like, okay, I was at E3, forgot to get my Imperial chests, so I was behind Imperials because we raided, and then I went off the E3 and just like I was like done with it. But I forgot to get my Imperial, so I've been behind, so I haven't been able to grind out the 2 rune slots. I'm finally there, but now I only have a week to do it. What should I focus on and why? In other words, it's like, dude, just get an Stringer, or get Beloved, or give me some tips.
All right, so the first question I'd ask you is, in PvP, you're more likely to run hand cannon shotgun or hand cannon sniper?
Hand cannon shotgun.
Right, so Austringer and the Imperial Decree, probably your two weapons to go for, I would say, or maybe even a Dust Rock if you prefer precision frame shotguns, because you can also farm for that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I already have a couple. I already have a really good. I have Mindbender's Ambition curated, and I have Toil and Trouble that's really good. But if you think, I actually have a pretty good Dust Rock too. But meaning, if I was like new weapons, okay, that I get that.
I would say Austringer, for me personally, that's a standout weapon. Yeah, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I would say Austringer.
What's your go-to PvP Austringer?
So the role I'm using at the moment is actually Outlaw Rampage, which is typically like a PvE god roll as well. But I really like it in PvP as well because obviously, 140s are normally 3 headshots to kill. But as soon as you get that 1 kill and you've got a Rampage spec mod on your hand cannon, you're doing 2 head, 1 body, then 1 head, 2 body, and then you can even 2-tap people once you've got Rampage times 3. So it's really fun for like going on streaks and getting that powerful feeling of that old IS Luna. Do you know what I mean? I don't like. I really hate.
That was my favorite.
70 comes up when I shoot my Austrian, and it's really annoying. I like to bump that number up as much as possible.
Okay.
So
Nice.
I'm more
So-
of a rampage
and yeah,
guy.
to that point, what do you think of Eye of the Storm? Like everybody seems to be chasing that as the
Yeah,
the
Eye of the
main
Storm
one,
is
right?
awesome. Like I also have a
It is.
Rampage Eye of the Storm, but I only have one Rampage spec mod. That's the most annoying thing. I can never get those mods from Ada. She always gives me other stuff.
Hmm.
So I just use that one. But yeah, Eye of the Storm's top tier perk, 100%. It'll help you in 1v1s.
It's really
And,
good.
yeah, really nice.
Why is it
becomes
good?
more accurate.
Can you explain it?
Basically, what it does is as soon as you're, weak, it just increases the hitbox, the magnetism of the bullets, everything. So it's just going to help you, land those precision shots when you're about to die. So it can be really clutch. And say you're a Titan using one-eyed mask, you're weak.
What?
It makes your hand cannon more accurate, and then boom, you've got an overshield. So yeah, it's just really nice.
Okay.
Also, the other perks in that slot, there's not too many. Like you've got rangefinder and either Storm and Rampage, but like there's not too many other perks that stand out really like that.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
And
So, yeah,
range masterwork on all
it's-
those, I assume.
It's
Yeah,
super
yeah.
good if you don't want to deal with Bloom. It's really,
Yeah, exactly,
really
yeah.
nice against
It
that.
Kind of cuts that out.
And yeah, the reason I asked too is like, so out of it's a primary slot hand cannon, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So in terms of what else you have an option, how much is it like the best in that slot? Like absolutely.
As far as legendary 140s go, I'd say it's the best. Yeah, easily.
Mm. Did you say what
Base
barrel?
stats, everything.
Did you already say what barrel to go for too?
For me personally, I like to go with extended barrel because it gives you +10 range with no cost to stability. Like full bore can give you 15
Okay.
range, but it also takes off 10 stability. So especially if you use a controller, I don't recommend full bore because it just gives it a little bit extra kick. Whereas if you have something like extended barrel, you keep the stability and you get the range.
Interesting.
So that'd be my recommended, and obviously
that
accurate
sounds-
rounds.
Yeah, see,
your
I
mag.
think I want the Outlaw Rampage because I would use it in PvE too. Like I could use
Exactly.
I
You
have
use it in
one
both, yeah.
for the PvE. It's really good. I haven't tried in PvP
it. Yeah.
yet.
I use my blast furnace pulse rifle so much, so I kind of need a good, I don't know, go back to a nice hand cannon.
With
Honestly,
Rampage, I used the
Rampage-
Midnight Q for
Really good.
a very long time in PvP. And with Rampage, like even if it doesn't, you don't get to the point where you're two tapping. Like having that extra damage could mean the difference. Like seeing somebody who's already damaged coming out of a firefight could be
Yeah.
a one shot instead of two shots.
That's true. Yeah.
Like Rampage
It
is
just
nice.
makes
Super
hand cannon
helpful.
feel good. Do you know what I mean? When you're getting a few stacks.
Definitely.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah,
That was super helpful.
It's funny thinking back
sorry.
to year one and how we were excited about old fashioned being able to 3-tap
Yeah.
with kill clip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With kill
Right.
clip,
Isn't that
yeah.
I mean,
silly?
that was a different world, dude.
That's just silly.
I
thinking
still
about
like
that.
Tap was
gun.
like a foregone
Yeah.
conclusion.
That gun still feels good. I used it like a couple of days ago just because I
That's cool.
saw it in my inventory, so I pulled it out. Like that, the model for that gun
Yeah, the model and the
and
sound.
the feel of it, the sound of it, yeah, everything about that gun I actually still really like. Unfortunately, it hasn't been updated with any of the new perks,
Yeah.
but it's a cool gun.
If you're going for the shoddy, I'm curious about the rolls on the shoddy for Imperial.
The best role is the good thing is I'd say there's one definitive best role for PvP, which would be slide shot and snapshot. Basically, snapshot's really nice because it's an aggressive shotgun, so it's got really bad handling by default. So snapshot will make it feel, a lot more responsive.
Nice.
And
nice.
then slide shot, obviously, you can reload on the fly, give you a bit of extra range. And yeah, for your barrels, you want rifle barrel or full choke, and then of course accurate rounds. So
Okay.
yeah, that's definitely the best
Range
role,
masterwork.
hands down. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Cool.
What do you normally mod out your shotgun with? Are you like Icarus, or do you do?
Yeah, always an Icarus grip.
Always.
I mean, I mainly use slug shotguns, and even on them, it's the same thing. You want an Icarus grip on them too. It's just for consistency, really.
This is
Obviously, you're
so.
going to be jumping around with your shoddy.
This is so when somebody shoots you and one eye mask activates, you can then jump up and like just look down for the cursor and be able to hit him with the Icarus shot.
Exactly. Exactly, man. Bait always with the slug shotgun. I don't know if you've ever tried a good bone structure or Ganoras with Icarus, but you should try it because it's satisfying.
Ooh.
Oh, I haven't
I
tried
haven't
it
tried
with
that.
Icarus, but I like both of those.
Yeah, it's got way better inaccuracy than Chaperone when you put the mod on it.
Nice.
Is it better ADS or hipfire?
Oh, you want ADS because it's a slug
So
shoddy,
it's-
so you always
oh,
want
'cause
to hit
it's slug.
headshot. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're always aiming for the head.
Nice.
Unless you use Liar's Handshake and you're trying to swashbuckle and you go for the body shot and you punch
That's a
them. You
good
get
point.
swashbuckler ×5. You can hit people with body shot
Mhm.
across the map, and you can punch somebody else, and they get all of your health back. It's great.
It's pretty
Sounds
solid
great. I
technique.
wish I could
Okay.
relate, but I didn't get that swashbuckler Ganoras. I grinded like
Oh.
crazy. And
I didn't get one either.
Swashbuckler is the
So
best.
salty about that.
It is so fun.
Yeah, it
I
is
was-
really good.
Have you used the Epicurean? Is it the fusion much? Like I've been getting hit with
I
that.
Yeah, I've
don't-
taken it for a spin. The problem is that archetype. It basically fusions. It's either if it's not high impact, and then it's just not good. Basically, bottom line.
It's just
Yeah,
not going to
yeah,
compete with
really.
Arentel.
Mhm.
And a world
Yeah,
with
well,
Arantil. What else do you?
Dude, Arantil's a touchy subject, guys. I'd be careful. Let's take it from me. I've voiced my concerns about that weapon, and
Did you say it needed to be
You said it was
nerfed?
OP?
I did, and people went crazy. It was kind of funny. But then I uploaded a video today saying it was balanced, and I was wrong, and it's just 10 minutes of me just destroying people with it. So people are still mad though. So the moral of the story is you can't win.
You know what? I feel like fusions are not overused. No, I don't play nearly as much PvP as you, but like in that situation, like we've got other things. Yeah, like I
Shall
probably
shall I tell you
because I
what the
love
problem
fusion.
is? It's
Yes.
really
Yeah, sure.
simple.
Yes. What's the problem?
In Destiny 1, they were projectiles, right? And in Destiny 2, they changed the system to power weapons. So in year 1 of D2, they're like, right, fusions are becoming power weapons. Let's just make them hit scan. It'll be fine because they're power weapons now.
Oh.
Right.
Now, the weapon system's gone back to the way it was, and they're still hit scan. So basically, they're in a situation where they'll either be too good, like Arantil, or they'll be useless, like all the other archetypes. So it's like a fundamental.
I didn't know that.
Wow. I didn't know that
with the
either.
weapon type.
So you're essentially getting like 5 to 7 bolts that are hit scan.
Yeah. So it's like now you can't, like, the way you interact with them is different. Like if you notice, you'll get shot through the walls way more by a fusion than you would in D1 because you can't effectively dodge the projectiles as well. If you're in the sight at the time when he pulls the trigger, plus all the things with latency and everything, it's just weird in D2, basically. The way fusions are.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you-
definitely fusions were a favorite of mine in 1, and they definitely just feel.
Yeah, like I loved them in D1, and I have loads of friends who like were really good players who made fusions in D1, and they just don't like them as much in D2 because it's just not the same. There's not that same
feels
feeling
different.
of mastering the weapon kind of thing. It's a lot more simplified.
Mhm.
in
It
D2.
is, yeah.
How do you feel about bottom
It's cool.
tree striker?
I feel like I betrayed my people today.
Yeah?
Basically.
I saw.
Yeah, I saw that
Twitter.
video.
People were mad.
Yeah, everyone was so
What
mad at me, but
happened?
it's like
What happened?
basically, so you guys know I play Sentinel all the time,
Yes.
right? But I like to mix it up as well. So the past like month or so, I've been playing quite a lot of bottom tree striker because the neutral game's actually really good as well. And if you guys know about,
I just want to
Frontal
say,
Assault
I
and
like how
Knockout.
that's mixing it up for you. Is like just switching to bottom tree striker.
I mean, well, here's the thing though. I actually play up until recently. When I mix it up, I would go on my Hunter or Warlock. I never play the other Titan classes actually.
Wow.
That's the thing. Until recently. So I've been playing it for the neutral game because it's really good.
Mhm.
But then, okay, all that aside, then I pop my super and I just feel like I'm cheating because it's just silly.
You just get a kill,
It
and
is
all of a sudden
silly.
they're like, "Well, attaboy, go get more."
It's like you can get 5 kills with your super. You look at your super bar, it's at 3/4 full. You're like, wait, what? Like, that just shouldn't be a thing. And that's all I was saying in the video. Is like, once you get like 4 or 5 kills, your super should just finish. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
Instead, you can run to the other side of the map and get 5 more kills. It's just stupid.
But Sheik,
very reminiscent.
it's Superman. It's supposed to be powerful.
Yeah, people get so mad when you say the word nerf now, man. It's crazy.
it's bad.
Like buff everything. It's all right. Do you want every super to last a minute and a half? Like, come on. Like,
no.
there needs to be like a point where you got to rip the band-aid off. Something needs to be nerfed.
People don't
You know what I
know about, like, you have to balance things. There's going to be some time where you have to nerf some stuff. Like, you're going to have to. You can't bring up absolutely everything. It's not going to be if you bring up everything. But yeah, the Destiny community has a very unfortunate past with nerfing. So now they're like, nerf? No, never.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Because
Leave
like,
it
we're
alone.
like, how's your whisper, Watts?
I haven't used it since.
Exactly. But meaning, I know I'm on the same page as you. Like, you can't win them all, but like, yeah, that makes us
How-
afraid.
I'm about to say something.
Nerf and Whisper was a win. I didn't have to use it in this raid, and I was happy for it.
So,
Yeah, I actually was too in the end.
why did they nerf things like Orpheus rigs, though?
Sleeper.
No, Orpheus rigs, man. And now this is going to sound very Warlock mainish. It's not. Trust me, I'm not a Warlock main. I declare on the podcast I am not.
You do play a
Warlock
lot
main.
when we play
I have
together.
more hours as my hunter than my Warlock. All right. Okay, now that that's out of the way. Skull of Dire Aramkara, apparently, from other Warlock mains. Not me. I'm not one. But from
never.
apparently is in like the garbage can now. Like, why would you?
Yeah, I tried using it after.
What was your findings? Scientific evidence?
Yeah, same thing. No, it's just like it's not worth using anymore. Like, just go use something else. And I felt the same way. I mean, Orpheus rigs is maybe a little closer to using.
It's not as bad. You can definitely notice when you're not using them. Yeah.
Oh, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that stuff like that is weird. You know, it's like they killed an exotic essentially.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is what I feel like Watts was just getting at, though, or the byproduct, which is they gave us this awesome feeling super, and then this awesome feeling exotic, and you get very used to that meta. And then when you try taking that away, man, I mean, it's like, I don't know why this just came into my head, but I'm like...
Both of those exotics allow you to just continually have a super, right?
Yeah. But I was going to say, it'd be like if you have like this buffet you really like and you like always go, and it's like, God, man, they got everything. They got the seafood and the shrimp.
To change ownership and it's garbage.
They also got
now.
like the best soup.
Oh, they get the shrimp.
But they take away the seafood bar. And that's your thing. And
Not
you're like,
the seafood bar.
It's still a pretty good buffet. But you're like, man, they got rid of the briar platter. And now, what am I going to do? So, but you know what I mean? Like,
well, that sounds like the Orpheus
problem.
rigs. The Orpheus rigs are like, they're not as good, but they're still good.
Closer to that,
Like,
yeah.
you're going to want to use the Orpheus rigs regardless. Whereas apparently Skull of Dire Aramkara is just straight up in the garbage can now. It's like
a
why
rat
would you
pooped
use
in
it?
your meal.
Yeah, they like the ownership changed and it's infested with cockroaches now. Why would you ever go back there?
We should start rating weapon changes on the buffet scale from now on. That'd be good.
Is it a briar leg with barbecue sauce?
Is this like a removing the soft serve from it? But
Oh man.
but anyway, yeah, like I think it truthfully, the taking away creates a problem because you're just kind of having fun. It's the same as Menagerie. Like Briar's like pissed now, but if he never got to experience it, he probably would have just been more in the like, I'd like to see another drop. It wouldn't have been like as angry, but he's like pissed now. And it's hard to walk that back. But I was just going to finish by saying I think Shadowkeep is a really good spot for us all to be in. Like, it's going to be more of a clean slate. A lot of new stuff. So, like, we've only got a few more months of, I think, these concerns. And then we'll have a bunch of new ones.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The circle of life.
Yeah.
Well, we are
Hopefully a few
getting.
more reveals as well.
We saw in the Shadowkeep trailer thing that we were getting intellect, strength, discipline back.
Right.
So if we're getting that back and we're potentially getting bad juju back, it's a lot of super regen potentially.
I
and
think
super
super
mod,
mods will go away. I think can be replaced.
probably.
Yeah, like so all the things. So I think melee mods, nade mods, super mods will go away. I think it'll be a much better system that way as well. I think.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that would be better. Yeah.
It'll just be intrinsic to the armor and
Well, intellect,
guns or
discipline,
whatever
strength.
now, right?
That would replace it.
Right.
Yeah, and then your armor mods could be specifically for like recovery and mobility instead.
Well,
I think that's how they're going to do it, right?
You-
That would make more sense.
That does. I would love for them to start crafting class-specific armor mods. This would be so
Yeah,
dope,
I would love that.
right? Like
Like what? Explain.
imagine if you could get like
Bones of
a golden
Neo.
gun drop that would add more golden gun shots to your 6-shooter. Or I mean that's a bad example because you already
like
get
a mod?
yeah, like mods that would that you could like exotic mods that you could insert into your armor to like extend the
Isn't that what exotic armor does?
yeah, but like okay.
Stuff for legendary
I know
armor.
what you're getting at.
Yeah, so like the options for your class. So if they're not going to give us the class trees to be split out into multiple options, then give us drops in the world that further that. So yeah, we have the exotics right now,
Yeah.
but they're very
I
limited.
see what you mean.
So like imagine I'm trying to think of a good example that's not like overly exotic.
Is it like if you get a mod that your void nade is bigger, or like where are you going?
Yeah,
Like,
stuff like that. You know, like
something like
so
that?
it's not like overly exotic to the point where it's like, well, why don't you just use exotic armor instead, or vice versa? But something that can be added and crafted or whatever to enhance those things that feel more RPG aspect. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that like that could make a lot of
Yeah.
sense.
It
Maybe
could
your
even
melee goes a little farther or something, or I don't know.
Yeah, I should have thought about some examples for it.
That's why I'm excited for the artifact thing that they're doing, where they're having mods, and they said that it was going to be seasonal.
Yeah.
Which to me that's pretty exciting because they can have like this list of mods that you can grind for, you can get. It's a really easy way for them to switch up the sandbox without doing crazy hefty changes, and it means that we're going to be getting mods introduced all the time. And from what it sounded like is you're going to have to choose which ones you get. You can't just be like, I'm going to work towards all of them. You're going to actually have to make a decision of which mods you go towards.
Interesting.
To pick them and use them. So that's where kind of builds are coming in as well. So I'm really excited to see that actually in practice.
Yeah.
It sounds like it might be cool.
Yeah, the more RPG aspects that they start leaning into, I really like. I'm a big fan of that stuff. Yep. I don't know how you feel about that, Sheik. Are you, like, from a PvP perspective, does that make you worried?
It depends how it's implemented, because I do really miss the bigger skill tree aspect from D1. So if they were to maybe bring that back, I'd be all for that. But maybe on the grind side of things, maybe not. I don't know. It depends what they do, I guess. But in terms of more ways to spec my character, I would be down with that 100%. Yeah, like I really miss the D1 skill trees. Like that's one of the things I miss the most.
Yeah, even though
those are coming back in a way, right? Or they kind of hinted that there's going to be more complexity in the skill tree.
Yeah, they didn't confirm anything.
I think hinted.
Yeah, they said that they're heading towards these RPG aspects, but we don't know if they're going to go back to D1 levels.
Right. We'll learn more over the course of the summer.
For sure.
And then I do believe like they're on a path that doesn't end at Shadowkeep as well.
That's true. Yeah. Like ultimately, if they did give us back the D1 type of setup, there will be a meta, and there will be if you're running this type of subclass, clearly you want a spec like this. But the fun of it is that you can break that, or you can discover.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, mix it up.
Yeah, exactly. You can mix it up so you can see what you like. Like there's certain, like sometimes you want to be able to go invisible as a Night Stalker, like with your smoke nade, and have the other perks and all that. Like
yeah, being able to make that choice, like in Destiny 1, Blade Dancer, for example, you had to choose between quick draw and being able to slide further and sprint faster.
Yep.
Things like that. So you had all these nice little choices you could make. Same with Bubble. You could have perks that would, make it last longer, or give you orbs when it takes damage. All these like different little things that like add up and just create more variety in the game.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm excited about the mods. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys want to do Twitter questions?
Let's do it.
All right. I just looked at the live stream. Tefty, you're wearing a green street shirt.
Oh, he knows.
Green screened.
I'm actually not.
That's been evaporating
put on
into
his
the
energy suit. Don't make fun of him.
Yeah, it's not a green shirt. It's a Elon Musk energy suit, man. Loaned me it.
Oh, cool.
He is taken.
Yeah.
Pedro BCM says, "Hi DCP crew. This may be my second question of the day. I think Pope is trying to brainwash all of us. 4 of the last 5 guests were Titans."
Oh,
what?
no.
Oh, really?
Wait a second. Wow, and Pope's a
Pope
Titan
is
main,
doing
right?
some underhanding.
I don't think he would deny that even remotely.
No, he wouldn't.
There's nothing wrong with there are too many Titans in the world. That's all I'm saying.
I've actually seen he has like a potential guest spreadsheet, and it's got a yes/no column for is Titan. But that's the only one. And there's a bunch of like red, and there's like a few greens in there. You were one of them.
Hero Time 39 says, "Why are Titans the best class in Destiny? Also, what super do you get the most enjoyment from shutting down? Also, One-Eyed Mask is fine."
Oh, indeed. That's a tough question in Destiny 2. Honestly, actually, you know what my most favorite super is to shut down? It's Dawnblade, because you really got to predict them. They'll be flying through the sky, and you got to throw your nade where they're going to land.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, how do you go about shutting down a Dawnblade? Because they're so floofy and they're so fast and
because
they're so high.
they have to come down to keep going up. So like, when they're dashing, you've got to like, all right, he's going to land at this spot, so I'm going to throw my nade there. And then when you see them fly through the sky and land at that spot, it's great.
Wow.
That's got to be satisfying.
And Titans are the best because you can do shit like that. That's why Titans are the best. So.
There it is.
It's really cool.
Wait, hold on. With the One-Eye Mask thing, What's your stance on One-Eye Mask?
All right, so listen, I'm a console boy, and
Okay.
if you live in the console world, it's the hunter world. All right, hunter jumps over your head.
Sure.
I can see this.
Before
Yeah.
you've even turned around, you've taken dust rock up the arse, and you're dead. So it can be it can be quite tough, but I will say fundamentally it's very, very strong. Like if you compare it to no backup plans in D1, you had to spec for no backup plans like 5 melee mods or whatever. Not melee mods, like discipline. Whereas in D2 One-Eyed Mask, you can just get overshield for literally anything. So I do understand how strong it is, but because I spend every day getting wrecked by hunters, I don't, I have no remorse. You know what I mean?
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
It's like kind of a complete different story on PC, right? I see a lot of Titans. Like I see a lot of Titans running around with mountaintop One-Eyed Mask.
I think M&K makes all the difference basically, because when a hunter jumps over your head on PC, if you're using a mouse, you can instantly track him. You don't have any problem.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where
also
other
field of
classes
view
shine a little bit more. Yeah, and that as well.
I also find the hunter jump because it hops instead of like smoothly follows an arc. It's much easier to track like the warlock and the titan while they're jumping than it is a hunter.
Yeah, it's like the opposite story on console. The weird thing as well is like it wasn't like that in D1. Like I never had a problem tracking hunters in D1. Like Bones of Ale wasn't in some ways better than Stompies, but in some ways Stompies are actually better. Like you can move like a little bit quicker over a short space of ground, and obviously they've made Titans slower in D2, so it kind of like has a snowball effect.
Interesting.
But obviously Titans have all the crazy abilities to make up for it. That's what they've basically done. It's like, all right, you slow as shit now, but you can do crazy shit. Like every now and then you'll melee one guy and 10 people will die and shit like that. But
yeah.
Or like you use bottom tree striker and you just, you wipe out the team.
Yeah, you get 50.
You go across the map.
Go to the other side, wipe the
Run across the map. They all spawn. You kill them again with the same super. It's like
it's like they're just giving us all this crazy shit to make up for like the fact that we're slow now. Just make us fast again.
William Owen says, with Bungie following Fortnite and getting Sony on board with cross-save and cross-play potentially further in the future, is the damn weekending on inter-platform gaming enough, or are developers still going to have to fight to bring that to their players?
I think they're gonna have to fight for a little bit. From what I've heard about Sony, so Bungie, when they announced that they were getting cross save with Sony, it was literally an hour before they announced it. They had a like last second emergency meeting of like, Sony, please.
Because Sony was like, we don't know.
They were like, yes, we can give you cross save if you sign all of your soul and life away of every single player.
I hope that wasn't what it was.
So
Sony in particular is the kind of corporation that, for all we know, the people that Bungie was talking to were cool with it, but then their boss and then their boss and their boss, like it goes so deep in an org like that's how that stuff happens. But you're right. I think Sony in particular is just going to be more of this for a while until finally it becomes they're not worried about it anymore. I think everybody else doesn't care. I think it's Sony.
Until
surprising, Nintendo doesn't care,
which is weird.
Yeah.
What a weird world we live in.
Yeah,
right.
But yeah, until every new game's coming out where it's like cross save, cross play, eventually it will become so much of the norm that if you're holding out on that, you're not going to have people playing on your platform.
I think it will become an issue to gamers too. It's like gamers are going to see, well, if I buy it on Xbox, then I can play with all my friends, even if they're not on Xbox. I can play with my PC friends, my Nintendo friends. But if I buy it on Sony, I can only play it with my Sony friends. So I think they'll start like getting pressure from players more and more, and eventually
especially doing this for Stadia and for Destiny, like it's just gonna be hard. Like it's a AAA title, like more and more of the other publishers going to be like, why them and not us? Like it's going to be, it's like when you give one of your kids like a gift in front of the other kids, like how do you explain that they get it and the others don't? Like it's going to create a domino effect. Hopefully, I think it's just going to take a year or so, year and a half to start breaking down.
Yeah.
Frank S says, question for Sheik. What do you think should be done to the competitive? We know what we asked you this already, so I'm going to skip it. Vivid says,
sorry, Frank.
If you guys were chosen to create a new villain and alien type class, what would you want them to be like? So a new villain for Destiny 2. What would you guys
like a new main villain, like a Gaul or an Oryx type situation?
I was thinking
for a new race.
I was thinking a new race, but
That's what I thought they meant as well. Like just
Okay.
in general, what would it be?
I want a shadow boy with a scythe. I like scythes. They're cool.
Shadow Boy.
You want a Grim Reaper bots? Is that what you're describing?
They're
Effectively.
cool. I like scythes.
Yeah,
They're a
I
cool
agree.
weapon, and then we kill him when we get the scythe. That sounds fun.
Ooh, scythe.
we-
That does
So like
sound
a
good.
whole race of Grim Reapers.
Yeah, maybe
pretty
some have
cool.
like nunchucks, but with like scythe.
I'm a big fan of nunchucks.
Briar's like, yes, nunchucks.
Yes to
Yep, That's what I
nunchucks.
want.
So I've always liked fallen tanks and like the beta. When I played the beta, we took out the tank in the Sepix Prime. Not Sepix Prime, but like Sepix. No, it was Sepix Prime. My bad. That strike. First time taking out that tank, I was like, oh man, I can't wait to see what else this game has to offer when it comes to these like giant-ish type of enemies. And
Yeah.
I really wish Destiny had a lot more things like those tanks in it that were varied. So like giant robot-ish type of things, like Scourge of the Past. Obviously, that's a raid boss, so that's way out of what's possible. But something along the tank side of things where they could have those in there, where you pop off pieces of armor and have crit spots exposed and all that. I'd love for more of those.
Imagine if they had something like Scourge of the Past just walking around as like a world boss.
That would be nuts,
Just, like,
man.
stomping
love
around.
World, I'm
Ah.
so in on world bosses, man.
Yeah,
I'm
me
so
too.
Yeah.
in. Where it just massive like raid-like boss just appears, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, guys, get to EDZ right now! It's
Love it.
happening!"
Yeah.
Ah,
Got some
I
like
want that.
That would be
crazy
dope.
laser hand thing that comes out. It's like
Yeah.
just like 1,000 voices all over the battlefield. You know,
Yep.
hell yes,
We're all
So
dead.
cool.
love it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Those are good ideas.
Okay, so the hive is back at the moon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to the moon. Imagine the
See the
hive
hive.
digs
Never mind.
too deep into the moon, right? They get too deep and they find
Easy
something
hive.
Too deep.
so evil. They find the lizard people in there,
Oh,
and they're working on all the experiments, turning the frogs gay. And we got to go in there and straighten out those frogs.
What?
There it is.
is this like gay conversion camp? This is
No,
terrible.
have you
I don't know,
heard
Brian.
of the
Yeah.
lizard people turning the frogs gay? Nothing.
I have not heard. It's funny, lizard people. I was like all in on that. Hey, you lost
Yeah,
me.
lizard people.
Okay.
Turning
You know
the
what's
frogs
funny?
gay.
I
What
was
is
going to
this
say
from?
reptiles and like because I was thinking of V the Final Battle and like generally aliens and lizard people. So you lost me on the rest.
Oh my god.
I think Briar's turning into Alex Jones. It's fine.
Vivid. Says,
Wait.
If you guys were,
Did Sheik say his?
oh, Sheik, I don't think he did.
Oh, like what? Like what race would I want
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
that kind of thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. This might not be alien race, but how about like some like actual evil guardians? Could be time.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
Evil Guardians would be
Guardians
awesome.
would be dope.
Like guardians possessed by like the Vex or some shit. I don't know. I'm
We
not
might
a
be
lore
getting
guy.
that in Shadowkeep because we saw like what appeared to be guardians that were shadows around a boss.
I hear they're all Striker
Like,
Titans.
like the
Bottom
darkness
tree.
things or whatever. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's been a rumor for
That's
a
where
while.
suppressor grenades originate from, like the darkness or some
Oh
shit.
yeah, I like it.
Mhm.
I remember there were images of guardians in Taken armor for the Taken King, and we all thought we were gonna get Dark Guardians then. Taken
It's like we
Guardians.
kind of got a
yeah.
little taste of it. Was Uldren a guardian? Or like he was like a
He is
he
now.
shot the guns
I
and
mean,
stuff. Well, yeah, he is.
yeah,
now,
I
isn't
mean,
he?
sort
Wasn't
of,
it in the lore a guardian is somebody who guards the city, the last city? So it's a guardian of the people.
Yeah.
So technically, you can be a light wielder, but like not a guardian.
Yeah.
Never mind. I don't know.
Think.
I know nothing about the lore.
I mean, I think I heard that. That makes sense.
No, we talked.
Said
Somebody
Biden.
was on the show, and that was the maybe it was Nem that helped.
I think it
explain
might have
that,
been
but
Nem,
it was
yeah.
that. It was. You got it just right. It was like no, that he's not a guardian, but they're a light wielder.
Yeah,
He has
There's
a ghost.
difference. Yeah,
it's been
but and he's also forgotten everything now. So like that's
infected
he
by the
hasn't
he's
traveler.
been chosen for a reason, I guess. But you can't trust the traveler.
I can't
that's
wait to
another-
find out about Uldren. Man. I need.
Yeah.
I want to continue that story.
I want to know
Yeah.
about
Cool story.
darkness. That's.
I wonder if
what
that'll
we're
be in
all going for.
Shadowkeep or if they'll chill on that Uldren story.
I don't know.
I just want to know about like
Alright.
space Doritos, and like
Yeah,
Yeah, like the
Space
darkness and all
Doritos.
that. That's,
like
that's
what
we're
if
getting.
Those
the
blue corn chips.
what if the dude was navigating the space Doritos and shows up?
That would be dope.
Wouldn't
What
that
if
be
Ult's
amazing?
is Mama birding space Doritos.
Yeah, in the back. Love it.
Vivid says, if you guys were chosen to create a new no, I just heard that one. Nathan Ike says, do you think the patch to the chest farm will end the menagerie? It's not going to end it.
It's all over.
It's
Pack
done.
it up, friends. We're going home.
Get your loot now, because it's ending.
We're going back to the reckoning.
Oh,
That's definitely not true.
I'm just shuddering because I did a lot of reckoning.
Oh
more than
God!
I would have liked to.
Spare rations
For
is
mods?
really good.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever get a spare ration that you like?
I got one that
yeah,
I
for
kind of
spare
settled on, you know?
It's got like 900 aim assist. It's crazy.
Yeah. I settled on one. Didn't get my perfect roll, but I just gave up after all. It broke me down, you know?
Yeah.
If it sounds
What's
like
gonna happen?
you said earlier, you're like, there's just use Stringer now. There's no reason to use anything.
I mean,
else.
yeah, I kind of do prefer Stringer at this point.
It's a 150 though with spare rations.
Yeah, they are different, yeah. They
Yeah.
are different
That's
archetypes.
actually why I started using Thorn again, and I was like, you know what, Thorn is great in PvE and actually pretty
I've been
good in PvP.
destroyed by some people using Thorn, and I don't get it. I'm
Well,
like, how are
yeah.
you doing
It's super
this? I
sticky.
On
don't know.
M&K, Thorn is really, really good.
Yeah, and
That's what it seems
it's a
like.
150 archetype, so you technically can spam it just a little bit quicker with those shots. Not that it makes a huge difference,
Yeah.
but you know, it feels just slightly less sluggish.
Zach Steeler says, do you think Bungie... God damn. No, I didn't read this one yet.
Old
Do you think
question.
Bungie made a good decision in making the Crucible Pinnacle weapon easier to obtain this season?
Yes, probably.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
More people going.
I mean,
into comp.
Sheik, you play so much. I mean, do you think it was just right? Too easy? Should have been harder.
I think, honestly, at this point, I think the easier the better. I think the
Just to get
idea
yourself
of
out
putting
of
the...
Crucible faster or out of competitive faster?
I just think that the whole notion of making the ranks, locking people out of the weapons, it just hasn't worked. Even as someone who, I get the guns and all that, I still think it's just how it's created an environment that just doesn't fit the game, I think.
I agree.
And, yeah,
I actually don't like it. I think it's too easy. But I think the reason that most people are okay with it is because competitive sucks. And nobody likes playing competitive, and you're forced to go into competitive to get the weapon. If competitive was actually fun, then people would be okay with it being harder. You got to play it more to get.
It's kind of added,
weapon.
especially pre Not Forgotten Nerf. It's added to a lot of like the toxicity around comp as well.
Mhm.
People being locked out from legend ranks so they can get the gun. It's just not worked out well, I don't think.
Delete comp
Personally.
brain trials.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That is pretty much what. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day, and the more I think about it, the more annoyed I am about how I feel like the weapons that would have been top tier weapons that you'd get from a raid that would be considered the PvE god rolls have become pinnacle comp weapons. And
Yeah.
I just don't think that's good. Just straight up. Like, because the weapons that you get from Crown of Sorrows are just, they're meh. They're meh at best. Like,
Yeah, they are.
right? Like,
They are.
it's 4 different weapons. Even the exotic is like interesting, but it's nothing crazy.
I really want the exotic, but yeah, it's not like a
Yeah, I don't have it.
Yeah.
game-changing weapon.
I got it
Or anything.
recently. I activated my streamer perks and it dropped. So, pro tip: activate your streamer
It is.
perks.
I'm still waiting.
Good tip. Good tip.
Good tip. Anarchy is good because of the extra DPS, and that's one of the weapons. And 1,000 Voices is obviously really good. Aside from that, out of the raids so far with Forsaken, there isn't really a standout weapon that fits the mountaintop recluse type of thing. And
Yeah.
I feel like they've moved away from having raid weapons be like, oh man, you need that raid weapon from being that PvE pinnacle weapon, and moved it into comp, which is, I don't know if it's by design. Seems like it is.
I think it's
Yeah,
kind of accidental, I think.
You think
I
it's accidental?
The sandbox is just I think it's just kind of led us to that point in the sandbox, like what they've done with Recluse. And
Who
Yeah,
would have
launch it
thought
off
that
and
grenade
launch it top.
launchers would be the jam for PvE?
Yeah,
Right.
that
Yeah.
was surprising
It's
considering
strange.
where they started off.
Actually think it's a byproduct of the focus. They put so much focus on creating pinnacle weapons in PvP that I believe that's where a lot of the energy went. And like meanwhile someone's off designing like the weapon for the raid, and like it seems like it's good, but like I just don't think it had the same energy.
even the
So these-
Vanguard
Pinnacle
Pinnacles are kind of
PvE weapons
meh.
too, but they all suck. Like,
Yeah,
what's
they're
up with
really
that?
meh.
Except for Wendigo.
Load of questions also.
Loaded question's
Actually,
good.
question is awesome.
Yep. And Wendigo is like your next best bet if you have enough orbs around. But it's really weird to see so much PvP focused weapons become the PvE roles that you look for, or like just straight up the drop. Because like,
Yeah.
I look back to D1 and I think about all these weapons that we chase for in raids to be to have like the trinity of PvE, like Fatebringer, Black Hammer, and then Galahorn. Those like the first trinity of PvE power. And now it's like shifted completely over to, well, let's force people into playing comp so they can have that power. Or Iron Banner. I mean, last week Iron Banner was just, good Lord, what an awful playlist. And I really, I wanted that swarm.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, Iron Banner is just the epitome of what happens when you have peer-to-peer connections and skill-based matchmaking and trying to make quote-unquote quality matches.
Ugly.
It's awful. It's just
That's why it's lagging, because freaking skill-based matchmaking, it prioritizes your skill over where people are, and that's just never good on peer-to-peer. You can't do it on peer-to-peer.
it is a rage-inducing playlist, and like
I was having the weirdest problem. So I'm using sniper rifles, trying to get the new sniper rifle from, that quest.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept having this issue. I've only ever seen it the last week in the Iron Banner. Is I'd shoot somebody, and I did a body shot.
Yep.
But then they like a half second later they die, and then it'd show I hit them in the head. But it was like I had already like started shooting the second shot. Like my decision was already made about my next move because I just assumed, like, I saw a body shot damage. It was so weird. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, you get like these weird like double damage things that happen sometimes.
You do, yeah.
Sure, it's kind of odd.
Yeah.
All the weird stuff starts happening in the banner.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
Yeah, it
right
really
now,
comes out.
we're in a place where the best possible PvE loadout is all legendaries, and they all come from pinnacle weapons and then Swarm of the Raven with spike nades. All
That's true.
PvP
That is
weapons.
true.
Weird.
It is really odd, yeah.
It is weird. Yeah, we're in a weird spot.
I mean, the grenade launcher thing, I think it was unexpected, right? It's like because other things got brought down and because grenade launchers got brought up.
So did they buff
Like
grenade
nobody
launchers
expected
when Whisper got
Mountaintop to
nerfed?
be.
Is that what happened?
No. Actually, was it that? And so what happened was when Forsaken hit, they made a change. And then Spike Nades got a huge buff. And then it was known.
Then they made another one.
It was known that this was possible back when Forsaken dropped because of nuking Riven with like Prospector and all that. And then there was another change that happened. I think it was when Whisper dropped. Maybe check.
Yeah, I think so. It was during the season of Drifter for sure.
Yeah, when Whisper got the nerf. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta be honest. Yeah, it's weird that like the best weapons come out of PvP, but I gotta say I like the change in the meta. Right? Is I'm not using the same fucking guns I was using, in Destiny 1. Like I enjoyed like going into the raid and using grenade launchers and a submachine gun. Like that was actually really refreshing to me.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's kind of fun to just melt it with grenades too. One phase the boss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Zagarian
grenade
says-
launchers.
Yeah, it's fun, right?
They just feel good. Yeah.
Zagarian says, question, what video game would you like to see a documentary for? Something like God of War, for example. I personally would love to see
Ooh.
Black Ops 3. Or not
I know.
Black Ops 3, Borderlands 3.
Easy. I want to see an inside look at FromSoft creating their boss fights.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
And their
That'd be cool.
world, like their environments, just everything. Just the way they make their games, they nail the atmosphere and the world and the characters and the bosses so well that I would love to see how they make their games.
I'd
That'd be
watch
so
that for
interesting.
sure.
Mhm.
Then George R. R. Martin rolls up like, hey guys, I'm here
Here's some story.
here's story.
Here's a quote.
It took me 6 years to write this story.
Yeah, it was like one line.
Yeah.
They commanded the stars, and then it's like cool, and then he's like, "That's all." I got
That's
for you
gonna.
for now,
That's all I
man."
Yeah,
got.
come on. Don't
Give it
rush
to me a little
greatness, you
longer.
know?
Oh man.
I like Zagarian's idea. Borderlands 3, having an inside Borderlands 3 documentary would be pretty fascinating, especially what's going on
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
there with, what's his name?
Randy.
Randy.
with Randy,
Randy,
and
yeah.
Old Mr.
ex-lawyer,
Pitchford.
or the ex CFO, I believe.
Yep. And the voiceover for Claptrap.
You know, if I wasn't absolutely positive that Jason Schreier was gonna, or Schreier in his next book was gonna have an inside look at Destiny 2, then I'd say Destiny 2. But I'm sure we're already gonna get that.
So, how many more questions you thinking, Briar? Because I gotta bounce
Oh.
soonish. Which is fine. Like I mentioned it to you guys before.
Yeah.
Still
let's do
rush. If you
3
should
more.
still go.
How's that?
3 more?
Yeah.
Is that cutting it too close for you, Fran? If you need to bounce now,
Yeah,
no
can
worries.
I bounce now?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lest I
you
don't
can
interrupt.
totally bounce it.
Okay.
Perfect.
Sorry to interrupt everybody. I just had to run out. And Sheik, it's been awesome, but y'all have a
Yo,
good
much
rest
love, dude.
of the show.
We're gonna
yeah.
miss that beautiful camera.
Yep.
Teft, let me know when it's cool
You're
to
good.
drop.
Yep.
Boy.
But
Bye.
All right, see ya.
Wait, no. Justice Beaver 23 says, I was recently sick and threw up puffy Cheetos. Yeah, it was as disgusting as it sounds.
Ah,
It
that's
came out
gross.
as an orange foam.
Eh.
What's the worst thing that you've thrown up?
Long Island iced teas.
Oh. Those are dangerous, man.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
I remember my first run in with the old Long Island iced tea was pretty dangerous. Because they taste delicious.
Whew.
They taste like iced tea.
Came out both
but
ends.
man, there's a lot of alcohol in there.
Yeah, no, those things are dangerous. You can just keep drinking, like,
It's
woo,
just
great.
3
Can't even
alcohols
taste the
all
alcohol.
put
but
up
there's
against
so much
each other.
alcohol in it. It's amazing. You can't taste the alcohol at all. There's so much in it.
But it's like
Crazy.
pure alcohol.
Yeah.
It's magic.
It is a
alcohol.
super strong drink.
Perfectly stacked against each other to make it feel like there's nothing, but yet all that alcohol is still in there. It's weird.
Yeah, the first time I had one of those, I was coming off a golf course and I was real thirsty, so I like chugged the first one because it was just like drinking iced tea.
Yeah,
I was sipping on the second one. I like stood up to go pee. I almost fell over.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a mistake, that's for sure. I had a bunch of tequila previously.
Oof.
Yep.
One time I was experimenting.
Uh-oh.
Well, for lunch I had cranberry juice and a tuna sandwich. And I was at the time in high school experimenting with chaw, Red Man, chewing tobacco to be specific. And
Be cool.
yeah, oh yeah, real cool. So I put a big old wad of chewing tobacco in my mouth, hopped in the car, and started driving to one of my friend's house. And as I was driving, I realized, I don't have anything to spit in. And as soon as I realized that, I just swallowed like a big gulp of chewing tobacco spit, which if you don't know, immediately makes you vomit. Like immediately.
Jesus.
So as I'm driving, open the door and start throwing up out the door as I'm driving.
Oh my God.
And since I had just had cranberry juice and tuna fish, it was bright pink.
Jesus. That is awful.
So,
all right, you
in
win the
addition to
puke
that,
story
my
contest.
girlfriend
Holy
happened
fuck.
to be following me, and she was watching this whole thing happen. She's driving behind me. Like I'd never seen
Briar
something
always
so
has the
disgusting,
best
and then had to
stories.
drive through it.
Briar's like a professional wrestling criminal tobacco swallower.
Yeah, Molotov
it's
cocktail
amazing.
throwing.
Well, yeah.
That was the last time I ever
River
tried
burning.
chewing tobacco.
He's an American badass, man.
He really is. That's true.
You also have disgusting throw-up stories?
I think the worst one for me was like the spicy Doritos.
Spicy
They're
Doritos.
just like very, very, very hot Doritos that are just
Uh-huh.
pure red dust. Throwing that up was not fun.
No, that can't be good because that's also like it's gotta hurt because it's like
It hurts. Yeah.
sharp.
I mean, here's the thing. Is there anything that's fun to throw up? I mean,
Ice
every time
cream.
it
It's a
sucks
joyous
every time.
experience.
Ice
It
cream?
just blows right up.
I mean, I don't say
It's
much-
nice and cool.
I
It's
don't
soothing,
mind.
frankly.
Might have to try it sometime.
Spicy stuff is
Little
always
soft
rough,
serve.
right? Because it's gonna hurt.
Well, no, they don't serve it at the buffet anymore.
They
so
took it
all
out. You
fine.
can't throw it up anymore. Bummer.
Veritas Otis 52 says, I'm gonna be stuck on a houseboat with my in-laws and no alcohol for 4 days. What tips do you have for surviving this encounter when you're introverted and your in-laws are extroverted?
Do you have any weed?
I don't think that's gonna help.
Loophole.
I mean,
Edibles?
it could help.
I would suggest headphones.
Headphones?
Yeah, you put headphones on, and people like don't talk to you because they're like,
no,
"Oh,
they're
well, he's
gonna-
listening to headphones."
They're gonna just be like, "Come over here," and then
No,
they're
just
gonna be
ignore
like,
them.
they're
Just
gonna be doing.
stay at
they're
the
gonna
front of the
do this
boat
thing.
and always look straight ahead, and wear
They're gonna be-
headphones. You can hear people yelling at you. You just
You could
ignore
go.
it. Oh,
You
he
could
can't
just go
hear you.
swimming, like you're on a boat, right? Just constantly be swimming.
Just water ski off the back of the boat the entire time. Oh wait, it's a houseboat. It's not moving.
Well, a houseboat that you can get on top of the roof, so you can just chill on top of the roof.
Mm.
You know, maybe like bring some cover so you don't get sunburnt. But like,
Go for very long walks.
that's true. Yeah.
And then just return when they're sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And drunk. Return drunk. Very drunk. That way you'll be much more personable. You won't be an introvert once you're shit faced. It's impossible.
With the right, you'll also be.
Listen, it could be worth suffering through some, awkward moments. It'll build character, man.
That's
That's
true. You're gonna
That
get
is true.
RPG
Sometimes you have
points.
to force yourself into
Yeah.
uncomfortable
It's
situation.
not going to be the first time you're going to have to do something like that.
It's
you know?
like
That's true.
it's like when you don't really want to spec into a skill tree because it's boring, but you got to, in a game
Yeah.
to get a certain thing to be able to equip. It's like that. All right. So you got to spec into some socialness a little bit here and there to get past it, build some character. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I still like my idea. Just drink heavily. Go for a walk. Come back drunk.
Yeah, drink or smoke. It'll help. Great advice.
Or eat.
Grayson Fredrickson says, question for Watts. I'm getting married in July and my honeymoon is in Seattle. Since Bungie doesn't do tours, do you have any suggestions of things to do or places to eat? I've been watching since Planet Destiny. Thanks, crew, for putting on an amazing show every week.
See, I always like when people ask me these questions, like, "What can I do in Seattle?" I'm like, I don't leave the house particularly. I'll tell you what's great in my house. My computer's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But no,
How's the
there's
chef?
one place that I know where to eat. There's one place that I can recommend eating, and it's Shiro's Sushi place. It's right in Seattle. It's so good. Just get the omakase set where they just bring you whatever the chef thinks is good.
Oh,
And
I
it's
love doing that.
absolutely delicious. It's really, 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 really good. But besides that, you can do like the usual stuff. You go to Pike Place Market. That's always fun. It's a fun place to go to. You can buy some cool stuff. But yeah, Seattle, the traffic's bad and I don't go there because it's bad.
I used to go with a friend every weekend for a long stretch. We used to go get sushi, and we used to sit at the sushi bar where they do all the cutting and the
Yeah.
rolling and everything, and just say, "Bring us beer," and then sushi guy, do whatever you want, and we'll pay for it when we're done. And we always got like the
Chef's
best
choice.
sushi that way.
Yeah.
Chef's choice.
Yeah.
It was always fun because they were always friendly because they got to make whatever they wanted instead of like the same old that they always make.
Yeah,
So they got to like experiment and stuff, and they put a little flair on it. It was fun.
that's cool.
Oh, but what something else you could do if you want to travel like a tiny little bit is you could go. Just Shem reminded me of this. You could go to the San Juan Islands where you can actually see whales. So you can go on like a whale kind of boat tour thingy and go over there, and the islands are really nice too. So that might be something that you might want to do. That sounds honeymoony.
Yeah, you can say hi to Veritas while you're on the boat.
Yeah, exactly. Bar's face. That was like an Eric's pause face where you're like, is he listening to me or is he...
Yeah.
Nope, he locked up. SAS says you're locked in a room with your co-hosts and your guest. You've eaten Briar, of course, as customary.
Obviously.
You have a deck of cards, and rescue will be coming in about 5 hours, which of course you can do before eating Briar. What card game would you pick first?
Huh. I don't know very many card games.
No.
Blackjack, maybe?
Yeah, I'd play
I know
blackjack.
how to do blackjack.
I can play blackjack for 5 hours.
Sheik, I would highly recommend teaching him.
I do
No
know
money,
black-
no money involved, of course.
Just
We
Briar.
play for,
Briar's
like,
life on the line. Oh, we can go full kakegurui and have like everyone has to have a limb eaten if they lose a round. Yeah, let's do that. That's
Damn. I was thinking we could just partition Briar and bet with pieces of Briar.
Mr. Goodboy has a far less morbid question. When should bread be toasted for sandwiches?
You can always give it a little toast.
I feel like a light toast is appropriate almost every sandwich.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
usually
would agree
light
with that.
toast.
But I actually took this as like at what point when you're making the sandwich, and like
Oh.
Well, not when you put all the stuff in it. If you put it in like a
Yeah,
conventional.
it's too
toaster,
late.
it's gonna
Yeah.
get messy.
Before you start putting meat on it, I would say.
well, no, I mean like do you put the toast in and then go pull the stuff out of the fridge? You know what I mean? Like, are you cooking? Are you like toasting it right then, or do you pull the stuff out
I see
first,
what you're saying.
put it on the counter, make sure you have all your utensils, and everything, then you toast it for a
I
little
see.
bit? You
No,
know what
no,
I
no.
mean?
Bread is the first thing I pull out of the pantry. I put that in the toaster, and then I start pulling the rest of the stuff out of the fridge.
That's how I
How
do
crispy
it.
you making that?
Sometimes I'll throw the meat and possibly cheese, depending on the meat and cheese that I'm using, onto a plate and microwave it to warm it up a little bit, so it's not like ice cold when I'm eating my sandwich.
Interesting.
But only for like 10 seconds, just enough to get it like not ice cold.
Oh, actually, Good Bites is saying, what type of sandwich do you toast? The bread.
Almost all.
I
of them.
always a light toast for me. Toast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always toast it a little bit. It's a little bit.
Pretty much all sandwiches I like to have the bread toasted.
I'm not like thinking of any that I don't.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Maybe I like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches even. Like
Yeah, it's good toasted
bread,
right?
Yeah,
toasted.
I like it to have a little texture that's been.
Yeah, there's no situation where you don't at this point.
Right?
If I'm making a bagel sandwich, depending on the bagel, I might not want it toasted.
I'm gonna
like
go
a really high quality bagel. I still like it a little warm though.
A little
yeah,
toast
like a
goes a
little-
long ways.
Yeah, a little toasted.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Shit. The question
You
is,
get
what,
DMG in
what
here, man. It's a
sandwich
bread question.
do you not want it toasted?
Egg salad sandwich.
We're gonna-
You toasting that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm toasting it.
A little bit of crunch.
Tuna
I mean,
sandwich.
every time I wouldn't.
Tuna
Like
sandwich.
when
Hell
you're a kid,
yeah.
and your mom makes you sandwiches. They would always be cold.
They would
Like-
be, yeah.
That's like it's like school lunches.
Yeah, I don't think I ever liked that.
Oh, okay. That's when I
grown
don't want it
folks toast
toasted.
shit.
I don't want it toasted if I'm packing a lunch to go.
If
There
it's
you
going to
go.
be sitting
We
for a
figured it
while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a waste of the
That's not going to be
toasting.
good for anybody. Yeah. And Watts is going to make some toast.
I think even then, I'd still prefer it to have been lightly toasted than put away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if it was like
thinking back-
sealed up, like
Uh-huh.
away from the tomatoes and meat and everything. So it's still kind of crunchy. It's hard to keep bread crunchy though.
I like what happens to the bread when it gets slightly toasted.
Yeah, it changes flavor,
Yeah.
texture, everything.
Yep.
It improves it 100%. The $1,000,009 says, would you rather hear the good or the bad news first?
Bad news first.
I'll just take the good news.
Pessimistic.
I'll pass on the bad news.
I'm with Hefty. I really, you know what? You keep the bad news to yourself.
Yeah. I was going to be like, I'm going
Why
to
are you
stop you
putting
right
that
there.
on me
I'm going to stop you right there. Keep it to yourself.
and walk away? This conversation is
You
over.
got to deal with the situation at hand, and then celebrate the good news after.
Why don't you handle it? Why you need me?
Because random Twitter guy asked the question.
How'd you take responsibility for yourself, random Twitter guy? Why are you dragging me on all your
I know,
problems?
You don't need these crises.
Lincoln says, we all know that scissors cut paper and rock beats scissors, but how does paper beat rock? Love the podcast.
Because rock is like an animal that isn't aware that it's just like a piece of paper that can easily be thrown away. It's like suddenly its world is covered. All right.
Yeah, once the rock's blinded, it's over, man.
Yeah, it's like an ostrich with the
It's
head in the
because
sand.
Rock is like R. Kelly and can't read or write. So it's technically very afraid of paper.
Yeah, it's terrified of paper. Exactly.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Kevin Jones says, love the crew and this game, but I also have a question. Why all the Warlock hate? I ask as a day one Warlock who enjoys all the classes of Destiny. I don't know what he's talking about.
I have
Warlock
no
hate.
idea what Warlock hate.
I hate hunters, so I mean,
How
don't know.
It's a
unbelievable.
weird
Sheik.
question. Like really random. I don't
I
get
used
it.
to hate warlocks in D1, but not in D2.
I love Warlocks. I was a day
I've-
one Warlock.
I got nothing but respect for all of my guardians.
I think I'm traumatized from D1. It's just carried on.
Yeah.
Just getting slapped and stuck by warlocks, yeah.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Can't get over it.
Wow.
It's
Sorry.
really starting to
Therapy.
make my blood boil a little
PTSD
bit.
for Morlocks.
Next
I
thing-
miss Sun Singers because it was fun to suppress them when they're self-resing. Never got old.
It was fun to headshot them when they popped it with a sniper.
Yeah, any
That
form of
was fun.
self-res denial.
The way they'd kind of like go.
Yeah,
You
dude, and then
bing!
boop.
That
a
was
lot of
good.
fun. That felt good.
That was the best subclass to see in PvP, actually. When those Sun Singers would pop that super, you'd be like, yes, pating!
Yeah, waiting for it, baiting them.
Elimination, bring it back. We can res snipe people. It'd be great.
Mhm. Snipers are really making a comeback. I think because everybody's going for a Revoker. I see a lot of them now.
But yeah, we played Clash against a full team going for Revoker. It's very fun.
Where'd the score go to, like 40 or something?
It's exactly. No one moves.
Oh,
Where they
that's the
spawn is
worst.
where they stay.
That's
They do not
I'll
move.
scope Henry's, man.
like
Henry.
an
Lame and Larry's.
aggressive last word sniper is a lot of fun. I think it's a lot of fun to play against as well when somebody's like an aggressive last word sniper.
Yeah.
When they sit in the back, oh my god! Like, is this actually a video game? Are we playing a video game right now?
Losing my mind. I put Lord of Wolves on.
Yeah.
Just out of spite.
Toxic.
It's like if I make it over there past all of your 6 hard scopes, I will Lord of Wolves you, and it will be great.
Now you
All
just
right,
put on
that's it. That
fighting
was all for
line.
questions tonight.
That's it. Wow,
Nice.
we did it.
And for the record,
Wow.
this podcast has nothing but love for all guardians that exist in the Destiny universe.
Yeah,
I don't
That
understand.
is super strange.
just
Warlock
accept
hate.
everyone that kills me. I hate all of them.
Yeah, same, basically.
Yeah, you guys are all dicks, but everybody else is cool.
All right. Well, that was that's the show, right? It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's it.
Absolutely.
This was just the day. The Menagerie is over.
This is
R.I.P. Menagerie.
the
It's been
wake,
good.
the Menagerie wake.
That's the title right there. Menagerie wake.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to say a prayer for all that loot, all the fun times. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to talk to me, you can talk to me at Teft on Twitter and also catch my streams, twitch.tv/TeftyTeft. And yeah, Briar.
I'm Briar Rabbit. You can find me on Twitter at the Briar Rabbit. Come talk to me.
Are you not like fixing a house or
Yeah,
painting
like
something?
creating a
Oh, yeah.
line of
What do you mean?
Molotov cocktails that you're selling on the internet.
That would be highly illegal.
No.
Briar's not a stranger to the jail cells.
That never stopped you before, Briar. Come on now.
What are you implying?
Where's the gumption?
You can find me in Cell Block C.
I am Miss 5000 Watts. Find me Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Just look for Miss 5000 Watts.
Sheik.
And yeah, you can find me at YouTube, Destiny Fun Please, for like 93,000 subscribers. So almost 100K, so go and subscribe.
Nice.
Nice.
And DFP Sheik everywhere else, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter.
Instagram, Twitter, awesome. Yeah, highly recommend checking out Sheik's content. It's fantastic. And
Yes. It's unique in a sea of lots of people using similar things. You get to see something different, which is always fun.
Agreed.
Yep,
I
absolutely.
appreciate it, guys.
Also, just want to say thank you very much to our patrons for making the show happen. It is always incredibly humbling to get the support on the show. So thank you guys for all that. Also, if you're watching live, we do have a YouTube channel. Make sure to go check that out for highlights and stuff that Briar makes. Thanks, Briar, for making those highlights.
You're welcome, Tim.
Thanks, man.
And if he's like making the raw Molotov cocktails, you can imagine those clips are
Dynamite. Hot.
They're very
Fire.
exciting.
Explosive.
I feel like you're really setting up expectations that I can't.
That's okay.
necessarily
That's okay.
meet.
Once you got the click, you're good. You know what I'm saying?
All right, cool.
Yeah.
No, people are asking what weeb game is Briar playing. He's playing Doki Doki. Yep.
Yeah, he's dokey and
Is
all
that what
over
I'm
the place.
playing?
Well, I wanted you to play Hoonie Pop, which is banned on Twitch, or
Oh.
Nekopar, also banned on Twitch. So we're gonna go with
Oh.
Doki.
Nice.
Okay.
Awesome. So yeah, make sure to follow us on our on the DCP Twitter account and check out, like I said, the YouTube if you're watching us live or on the audio version. See all that stuff, and yeah, appreciate all the support, guys. We will see you
Thank you, guys.
next week. GG's.